Alright, 300 seconds-ish. I'll take that down when we're done. Alright, live from start.
Loads of people disconnected. They're live from start. Yeah, you're in?
Yeah,
You're in. Alright, I'm just going to follow you so I don't talk about stuff that's not on screen.
Oh, I'm gonna be a rip first. Okay. Stream.
Let's disconnect.
And there you are.
Only a few of them. Roger, carry on then. Let's let the techies out first, guys. Let the techies out first.
Six, seven, eight, nine. Alright. Hello. Wow. Back in the hot seat. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Saint here with the man, with always the plan. Good old Gecky. How you going, mate? Good old
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Wow. Bit of a showcase today. Had a bit of a stream issue with Twitch, but hey, out of the way, it's all down to the actual match itself. What are we playing today? We're playing Fool's Road AAS V2. Welcome to V9, everyone, as well. Of course, Militia versus the Russians in this one. We are going to look at the Fortress Hilltop encampment. Get over towards the village, then the mine, I believe, and then the Russian main starting over in Delta 10 region. Version 9, couple of vehicles, if I'm not mistaken, that have been added, which we'll go over when we come into
Hang on though,
contact with them.
Saint.
Fuck's sake, I messed up.
Saint, just let me break in a minute here. I think they're restarting.
Okay.
Because of some disconnects. Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough. I can get my intro better. So, take 2 in action.
That wasn't bad though.
That's alright. I've just saved that recording anyway. And I'll just get another recording up, but everything's live on YouTube anyway.
And now Bull disconnected.
Oh no! Okay.
V9.
V9. It's fine. We'll allow everyone to sort of get in. And I think there's going to be maybe a switch. Yes. So I think, yeah, Rusty in Places, of course, on the Russian side for now. But they want to go on Militia side, I believe, first. So they're going to do a bit of a switch.
Yeah. And we're still streaming, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I might as well just put the good old Splash TT up. So everyone can see the glorious backdrop. But yeah, today I didn't even get into the teams. I didn't get into V9. So let's
No, but there's still. It's gonna be interesting if you ask me. It's a pretty decent matchup. I do think, in my opinion, RIP are favored though.
Well, there were, yeah, with Tactical Tuesday, of course, you've been recording the past couple of Tactical Tuesdays, so you definitely have a fresher memory than what I do, but my thing is frozen, my camera.
Oh yeah, it is. It's admin slow-mo, so don't worry about it.
Schmart. Yeah, Matrix.
Admin slow-mo, yeah.
But yeah, looking at sort of the recent results of Rusty in Places, very always playing sort of Tactical Tuesday when they can. Large community, 300 plus members, one natural organism, I tend to call them. They always know the flow and move together, but I think in the past few weeks, Rip have been pretty strong when it comes to Tactical Tuesday. I think got a couple of wins under their belt. And of course, if anyone doesn't know, Tactical Tuesday is the competitive side, I guess you would say, to Community Clan Fight Night, compared to the Sunday type event, which is just a fun day, just getting a lot of clans together. But yeah, so your, I guess, thought is Rip or Rusty in Places possibly the favorite today.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, TOG, Zulu, Xray, Delta, and SVG as well. Really good clans. I don't have much experience with Fire Team, but just from sort of a general feeling, I would say RIP are slightly favored. Now, obviously, that's just me. That's just my subjective sort of opinion, and doesn't mean they're going to win. It's all up to the match, really. But
yeah.
I would say RIP tactically are really, really good, and they're getting better all the time.
I think that's where a fluid emotion sort of comes in when you've got Rusty in Places, of course, 300 plus sort of clan in terms of their members. Definitely have sort of a lot of squads they can sort of put together. We're looking at a 36v36 today for this matchup. Usually, sometimes it's around about sort of the 39v39s. But like Rusty in Places play together all the time. These guys know each other ins and outs. I'm sure they've played this map over and over and over again, being Fool's Row AASV2. And then when you look at, Zulu Xray Delta, Fire Team, the other guys, and Seranian Vanguard, I know Zulu Xray Delta and Seranian Vanguard definitely have played together. The other guys and Fire Team with Zulu Xray Delta and Seranian Vanguard, I'm not too sure. Like, I'm sure that you've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen those other guys. They've been playing quite a lot. I think they played with Zulu Xray Delta like not this CCFN, the one before that, possibly. And I mean, they're kind of everywhere. I'm sure they've played with them before.
Yeah,
so it's they're not new guys, I would say.
No,
TOG.
definitely no. TOG, of course, been in a couple of CCFNs nowadays, and yeah, a couple of weeks, and then also I believe a couple of Tactical Tuesdays as well. But yeah, it's sort of in terms around the sort of communication aspect. When you're a couple like 4 clans up against sort of one clan, definitely that one clan has possibly better communication than what those.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, I know RIP always run a commander as well.
Yeah.
So they have sort of that slight coordination advantage. Obviously, it is that's up to the individual commander as well. He does play a huge role in that sense. He has a lot of his tactics sort of change the ebb and flow of the battle and where he chooses to put his guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's we do see a couple of clans. I've seen a couple of clans, within the sort of CCFN community or just even the squad community in general. They'll tend to, even though the commander role isn't in actual play, there's always either that one clan or that one squad leader that will tend to command those other squads just to see what the flow of the battle is, and sort of get him in that correct line. If it's defending, if it's attacking, flanking and whatnot, and definitely Ripper, one of those clans that, as you said, definitely has that commander.
Yeah, and not only that, but now with direct squad-to-squad communication as well, I think the commander role will be that much more effective, being able to more, or you can keep basically squad comms or squad leader comms more quiet, and then have more of a direct control over your squads, saying like squad 1 slightly more north or some bullshit like that, and the squad leaders will be able to more effectively just focus on their squads.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing, because V9 just dropped last week. I think last Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken, midnight for me. Early hours for the Europeans. But yeah, I guess a new addition now is the commander channel, so they can actually speak to individual commanders or
squad leaders. Yeah.
So how that works, if it's a case that RIP do use this, I'm sure they've been experimenting all week with this, but if they do use this, I don't know if we as streamers can capture this.
I think no, you can't. I mean, unless he directly communicates with you, but
yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much. I feel
definitely not. I don't think.
And I think for you especially, it's a blessing in disguise. I think you're starting on the RIP side, so and they talk a lot.
Talk a lot. They are, yes, definitely. They've got the. They've definitely got the voices. It's a constant. If it's a 2-hour matchup or if it's an hour or 30, I think maybe around it's sort of about 5 minutes altogether. They don't talk. So it's always communication. So
yeah, but they're really good at it, and I'm surprised their squad leaders even hold up. Like when it's just general, like when it used to be all one channel.
Yeah.
a long time ago. I just don't understand how their squad leaders manage to communicate to their squads as well with this chatter going on in the background, this constant chatter.
Yeah, I guess it just playing in and out.
Yeah,
just the ins and out of it together.
Yeah, you have to get used to it. Or something.
and then of course when you look on sort of 4 clans playing together, 3 clans sort of playing together, 3 squad leads, they can have more if they want. They can split up into as many groups as that they feel. But then you definitely see the difference between that one commander and his little lieutenants or little squad leaders compared to compared to sort of those 4 clans, each individual squad lead, and that sort of non-commander type role, who's calling the shots and all like that. Definitely squad we know as communication is key. Definitely set up your attacks, setting up your defenses, looking out for your enemies. So definitely for.
And I would say with V9 as well, that's just more important. It's a slightly slower battle, and strategy and fob placement, everything is just so much more important.
Yeah, very true. No, 100%. Definitely new fobs. Fob mechanics. The fob now acting as just the hub, and now you've got a hab to build, which will be your main spawn point. Only one can be built on a fob, and it costs around about that 500 supply tickets as well. So it's not the case of just getting out there, putting down a fob, get the logi on it, and automatically there you go, away you go, everyone spawn in. You got a couple of minutes, and it's up to your guys how fast they can dig that and what location you can sort of place it as well. 150 meters. It can be placed sort of around that sort of fob location. So I think looking at fob metas and whatnot like that, when we saw earlier in sort of squad histories alphas of if we place down a fob and then we get before activation, actually, and before logistics, if we put it down, then everyone could spawn in and they could save their stamina and all that sort of stuff. Now I think we're going to see in the next couple of weeks possibly some new metas coming up. And I've heard a couple. I don't want to say any that I've heard. I would rather wait till they go a bit mainstream, because I would hate to sort of give away something and then other people are like, "Ooh, that's sexy. I like that. I'll take that for me." But yeah, I think definitely new vehicles. New vehicles, new fob system. The squad comm channels as well. I think we're gonna see just a whole new game, sort of in general, and sort of how it plays out.
I think people are still disconnecting though. This is not good.
Yeah, there's not much we can really do here. We'll just see sort of how it goes. Basically, it's the case of just a bit of problematic server issues. So we'll just see.
Absolutely.
See what happens, and see what bit of the get-go is.
Yeah, they might just start it up and let people rejoin. And I'm sure that will work out. I know some people are having disconnection issues. I did think that was solved with some hot fixes before V9 launch, but looks like it's not entirely cleared up.
Yeah, well, here we go. I think I recorded some, so I can send it off to the Q&A team if I have to. And just be like, hey, there's a couple of issues that sort of happened over here. People were disconnecting. It could just be their server. It could be, I'm not too sure, but we'll sort of soon see. I think if we're looking at sort of, if it's played out, Fool's Row AAS V2 this evening. I believe Militia up against Russians. Militia now have the BTRs, which is good. It's not all about with the militia forces just technicals anymore. I think a lot of people felt that being militia was a bit of a downside. It was really an uphill battle. But now, if I I guess on my computer, but of course the new militia vehicles in play. The BRDM is a scout car, 3 people, 18 tickets, and we also have the MTLB. It's a basic ABC that holds 19 people, costs 18 tickets, but very, very light in armor. And I've seen it.
But it does have armor. That's the thing, right? There you can't kill the people inside with
no.
bullets.
Definitely
so
not.
So that's sort of.
It's the I saw it played out on a playtest before V9 dropped, with the Striker going up against a Russian, the Russian equivalent, the MTLB 6M, and Striker just ripped through it no tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the pros and cons for having that sort of APC. Holds 19 people, great sort of transport people. That's two squads and 1 person. And that driver, I guess. 18 tickets worth. Yeah, that's a bit costly in terms of tickets. 2 less tickets than a fob.
But you can do a lot of things with it. Sort of, it's multi-purpose. I would say the Striker is too valuable to just run around with because you could get it killed.
Yeah.
Whereas the MTLB, you sort of have. It's not a huge loss losing an MTLB. It's not that useful in combat anyway. Sort of, you can use it for lots of different things.
Yeah,
so it's more versatile.
Yeah, suppression, I guess you'd sort of say. Suppressing a group, in the distance, get them down, allow your guys to get into cover and whatnot like that. Definitely, the Striker on the American side. Of course, won't be played this evening, but 35 tickets compared to, sort of 18 tickets if it's Russians or militias APC up against a Striker. What else do they got? They got the MTLBM 6MB IFV. It's 13 people, 25 tickets. That's a 30mm cannon that it has on that little bad boy. And that's basically it. So they've got a new APC. They've got a 30mm cannon. They've also got the BTR. The Russian original BTR, I guess you would say, and also a scout car as well. So that holds 3 with sort of 18 tickets with that, and 14.5 sort of millimeter gun there. Great against infantry. So
absolutely.
So we do have, of course, now a couple more vehicles just for the militia side to really go up against the Russians. Russians, of course, having the new BTR, the 82A, which is just a beast, 30mm, and it shreds. It is absolute shredder. Holds 13 people and 40 tickets there. They also have another 30mm equivalent, which is the same as the militias, the MTLBM as well. They also have the APC, which is a very light armored transporter, 19 people, 18 tickets, and the new logistics truck, I guess you would say, with the Russians. The Ural 4320 truck logistics now definitely has that good old shift. Hold down that shift and get up those.
Yeah, that's really, really handy. I remember thinking the old Logi truck had like 12 horsepower.
Yeah,
it's just super duper slow over terrain.
Yeah, it was pretty cool testing out sort of in playtest. The case of just holding down. Finally, I always played armor, and to go fast in armor, it was always hold down shift.
Yeah.
So ever since vehicles came out in squad, I always held down shift. It was just a muscle reflex. It did nothing. Yeah. But now it actually has something, and it gets you up in the. Definitely gets you up in those.
I always used to hold down shift in squad just for moral support. Like the feeling of going faster. Knowing I'm at the very least trying my best, even if the Logi's failing. I'm doing what I can. So
yeah, it's just to rest your pinky or whatever. That's all it.
Yeah.
All it does, and now it actually does something. And testing it out in playtest and even V9 since release. Man, it gets up some really steep hills. It takes time, but it gets up there eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I've been stuck in a ditch before with that, with the logic, and you can't reverse out because it's too steep, and you can't go forward because that's way too steep.
Yep.
And it's just why do we have this truck? It's a military truck. You could spend $1 on the engine. But it's so dumb.
It's very true. It's great with the implementation of that now in. I think they're now about ready, sort of after sort of 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
They are changing
the plan now. Yeah, the plan now is they're changing the map, and then if people disconnect, which will most likely happen, they will then pause or just admin slow-mo stop time, and wait for people to reconnect and then go live.
Yep, that's fine. Happy to do that. Basically, this will be the first Tactical Tuesday, sort of with V9, so you do expect this. You know, V9 dropping early hours, sort of Saturday morning or midnight in some places on Friday. Yeah, so it's still young, you know, so I guess there are still a few bugs to sort of fix. That's what you sort of get from sort of alpha games. But yeah, you just got to fight through. You just got to have the patience, and if all goes to plan, I expect a brutal battle sort of going out. And definitely we'll see definitely when it does go live, and I do switch it off the splash screen, but you'll see the whole new scoreboard in play.
Oh yeah,
and
it's so nice.
It's I call it the accountant's spreadsheet. It just holds so much information now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I actually might even bring it up now. There we go. Yeah, so the accountant's spreadsheet. It's good now. With being an admin cam, you actually do see both sides' tickets. So we will be able to see the militia forces tickets and also the Russian forces tickets. But of course, you know, kills, deaths, incapacitated. Now we have reviving. We have healing. We do have teamwork score depending on the kills, the healing, the logistics, etc., and the objective score with capturing and whatnot. I think the server just crashed again, or I might have just disconnected.
Well, you disconnected. Yeah, you disconnected.
Yeah, that's cool. Crash. I'll be back in 2 seconds anyway. But yes, with the new scoreboard, I used to play squad lead. I kind of don't anymore. Hashtag rage issues. But yeah, definitely sort of as a squad lead, I always like to see and really first of all always going as medic. The first, I guess, position I sort of went into was medic. So your main objective, getting people up, etc., etc. When you're squad leader, you're always wondering, okay, is my medic doing his job? Is he doing a battlefield and just basically going there on his own and just using the bandages and whatnot on him? So it's really good having that sort of information to sort of see how your medics are doing, how are they doing on revives, how are they doing on healing, etc. I think it's a great addition to it.
Absolutely, and I would say as well, like just from my own experience squad leading a little in version 9, and it's a totally different ball game. I'm not back on scratch because I like to think I'm a pretty decent squad leader, but I'm not completely back on scratch, but I'm at least like only half as good as I used to be in version 8. It's a completely different game to squad lead in.
There's so much more to think about, I'm sure. I haven't...
and just fob placement and just the way the tactics work. The battles is slower now, so it's just you have to just think more. I guess you have to not, because my forte in squad leading was mobility, right?
Yep.
Just be where you need to be all the time and never be where you're pointless. And you just can't do that anymore. The travel is longer, and just everything takes more time. So you can't do what you used to. So you just have to rethink your strategies.
Wow. Yeah, I can only really sort of assume, not sort of stepping in those squad leader boots in sort of V9 dropping. I'm gonna have to restart my game. It seems like I'm a bit glitched at the moment. But But yeah, it's sort of the case, you know, straight out the bat, you always want to know where the sort of fobs are going to be placed. Is there a logistics going to be behind it, sort of just to make it active? But now you have the second step of, okay, we need the logistics there to make it active for one, but to put 500 supply points on it, so then we can place that hab down. And then secondly, it's not just about the fob and where it's sort of placed. It's like, okay, where am I going to place the hab? Am I going to place it close to the fob? Am I going to place it at the max 150 meters? Am I going to try and blend it into the landscape if I can? And all of this has to be thought of in just a couple of seconds if you want that momentum to sort of happen. And also you want those logistics runs to keep happening. Not just to keep resupplying that sort of fob, it just has to be on demand, so then it can, any other fob that's being placed down and any other hab, it can be, you know, supplied with the points needed and so on. So yeah, definitely no more sort of how would you say, blitz fobs, I guess you would sort of say what they would.
No, you can't do that. And the other thing as well is, like, you have the whole safety fob sort of idea, where you attack a flag and say you hold that flag, but you still drop a fob and maintain a fob on the previous flag in case you lose your defense flag.
Yep.
So you have that fallback position. And I've seen at least a common strategy where you send a small group just to search around the area around the flag, just to see if you can find a fob, and usually you do, and you just take it down. And then when you attack or assault the flag, they now have to worry about a new fob on their soon-to-be defense flag, as well as the whole you're losing the actual flag. So it's just, yeah, it's a whole new ball game. This game now after V9, it's completely just fundamentally changed, I would say, and it's really, really interesting, I find, and it's really, really nice because I didn't pay all that much for this game, and now I'm getting a new one every version.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I totally agree. I got a really strange bug. Every time I load into the server, nothing comes up.
Nothing comes up. Well, what you do is you go, you press escape.
Yep.
And you go to game settings, and at the bottom of that, you delete the cache. Yeah. And then you go back in, you get all your settings back up, and then you join the server, and then you change all your settings. All right. And then it should work.
Yay! First time this has sort of happened. It's good to experience these things.
I think honestly they're gonna call it.
Really?
Yeah, I think they are. They're talking about it right now. Discord.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah. Womp, womp, womp.
Okay, what do we got?
Well, there is some discussion about. I'm not gonna say anything final, but let's just keep talking and nobody blows up. Just to reference that game. But it's a really interesting map, though. I mean, to fight on, especially after V9 and things slowed down. I mean, you can't really rush Fortress anymore like you used to. I mean, you can try, but I don't think it'll work that well for you.
Okay. I think what they did, I think they paused the server, so that's why nothing came up.
Oh yeah. They did pause the server. Oh shit! See, I just
no, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's good. It's actually good because the last time I actually cleared those settings was actually when V9 released.
Yeah. Now you have to get all your stuff just the way you want them. You'll be tweaking your aim sensitivity for months.
No, like,
hang on.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. So yeah. I'm a medic. I don't need to use my gun. Okay,
oh yeah.
Let's.
Oh man, but I find a lot of at least or some of OMBD's new recruits actually, and I'm just gonna. They actually play a lot of medic, and I think I did the same as well, because as medic you can be useful without actually knowing how to shoot.
Yep.
And it's a slippery slope, though, because you can end up not knowing how to shoot at all.
No,
because you don't really, yeah.
Yeah, it's 100%. You know, when I was coming into squad through sort of closed alpha and whatnot like that. You know, one of the first after just learning the basics, I guess, was medic, because I was like, okay, yeah, I could sort of get people up. That's my objective. Blah blah blah. And then eventually, yeah, you kind of do lose that footing on shooting.
Yeah.
And you then have a lot of bad games, and you're like, what the hell's wrong? And you keep fiddling with these settings, but it's like you haven't practiced that much. You don't have the muscle reflex there as what you sort of used to have. So,
Absolutely.
and then yeah, you start to play not medic, and then you start to sort of you know, keep playing, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I'm getting a lot more kills. This seems right for me. You then choose the right sort of hammered. The right sort of
kits, yeah,
the right sort of kits that you sort of feel like. But still, it's like if you don't have the backbone medics, or you haven't had people in your clan play medic and they don't know how to medic. I still think medic should be the number one sort of position to sort of go at with any sort of new recruits. Now I have like all these help me tips coming up, which
remove them. Oh god, that's so annoying.
Yeah, it's good for new players, definitely.
You can place fobs with blah blah blah, and I'm like, I've got like 1,000 hours, dude. Stop it. Put the cookie down. All right, I think they're actually just ready to go.
I think they are. I'm gonna switch. Yeah,
they're just gonna let her rip, and
that's no pun intended.
Yeah, actually, no pun intended. Hang on.
All right.
Live at 1:57.
Yeah, so you actually have to open up your scoreboard now. So 17 seconds.
Oh crap! Yeah,
that's all right.
That's where it was. I was looking. I was like pressing enter. Where is it? But nowhere. All right. So
7, 8, 9. There we go. I think I have reds over this.
All right. You gonna do the video intro?
Yeah. No. I won't do video intros. I think we're just gonna get into it.
Yeah.
And we'll see sort of how it plays out. I'm going to get the local recording happening as well. I don't expect this stream quality to be great. Of course, watching a splash screen for the last 20 seconds is going to give you 20 minutes. Sorry, it's going to give you great sort of streaming quality. But of course, when we get into squad, it gets a bit bad. So I'll get a local recording up and running, and I'm going to turn my sound down just a bit because I haven't found the sweet spot. Sweet spot. And I'm gonna get a stream up and running. And there we go. So I'll be able to listen to sort of rip. So I'm gonna head out towards the sort of K-line section. Of course, the K-line section, K3 all the way down to sort of K10, just in case any of the Russians sort of head on over there.
Yep. I'm just gonna switch teams, so the scoreboard looks slightly more even. Ooh, I like this. You see this rush? Yeah, you're right behind it.
Yeah. Always nice. That K-line, yeah. Always the K-line.
RPR actually rushing.
No one's here, but...
And it's Frog, Rygo, Aspen, Bowl, and Plebbles.
Alright guys, Force Road ASV2, welcome. It's good old Saint Sasius with the El Natural, I call him, Gec. He definitely has a voice for it, and he's been doing Tactical Tuesday for all this time. But yes, welcome.
Now I'm just here. Code casting.
Yeah.
I'm demoted.
No, not at all. It's never a demotion. You're the man with all the information. But yes, we are playing Force Road ASV2. Militia starting over in the I1 keypad sort of 3 section. First set flag for them will be B2 Fortress, followed by the Hilltop encampment, Foxtrot 4 keypad, just Foxtrot 4 G4, and then we do have the Russian second flag, which would be the village over in the K8, and the first flag for them, the Foxtrot and Golf 8 mine, and the Russian starting goal over in the Charlie 10 region. We do have a rush of rip all the way over onto the second flag.
Yeah, and this is sort of how I was saying earlier in the stream that this is sort of how the game has changed as well. Like RIP could rush this flag in version 8, and they just be in contact immediately. But look at this. Russian side, they're just, okay, we're just going to sit here then, drop our fobs, and then we're going to attack. And that sort of would be unheard of in version 8. You had to get the flag immediately or you just lost the game.
Yeah.
And right now, they're just taking their time. They know RIP can't hold this without a proper supply line, and I doubt they have one.
Yeah, sort of that slow and steady wins the race. Who are they versing, guys? Zulu, Xray, Delta, Seranian Vanguard, Fire Team, and those other guys. And it's a 36v36 on Fool's Road, double ASV2. Tactical Tuesdays, guys, the good old competitive equivalent, I guess you would say, of Community Clan Fight Night. And a bit of action happening over on this south side.
Ooh, and this
Nice
BTR already taking a hit. And they're going straight into that other vehicle there on the north side. Actually, multiple. I can't believe they're not shooting yet. And now they are. Wow. BTR going down.
Seranian Vanguard there. Two guys really peaked.
Nice.
And as somebody who knows, they're getting in contact there.
Oh, blast on my AK. Actually live on flag there. And getting shot at. Running for dear life. And taking out RIP members here, left and right.
Yeah, that definitely the RPGs there coming in. RPGs helping out there, as well as that SVG techie and the good old scout car now. Beautiful little scout car now.
We started Cap Village.
With
We
the
started
militia.
Cap Village.
Yeah. And Russians actually failed. They tried to rush Hilltop there, but militia actually managed to capture that under their nose. So right now, RIP have the advantage. They're now capping village here.
They are, definitely. That village now being capped. If we have a look at the flags, basically Fortress being capped first flag. Second flag has a fob and a hab on it, which is the hilltop encampment. And the third flag now being captured by RIP. Down towards the, I guess, the east side, we have those other guys getting up on the hills there.
Hab coming up village.
And they are getting severely surrounded, though. Look at this. We have Russians now to the northwest, the east, and the southwest. And they're just going to come in from all sides, I think.
Yeah, scout car just barely getting away there.
Ooh, I think Bowl is on the LAT, though. Got a hit on that BTR.
Coming up to the southwest.
Yeah, he is.
That's the original BTR of the Russian forces there.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah,
So a lot of the concentration,
to,
a lot of the concentration, or a lot of the fire, I guess the firefights happening just on that sort of second flag for the Russian forces. Russians unable to get there. RIP taking that sort of K line all the way down there and getting there first. There goes the scout car. Actually, the SVG goes down.
Yeah, that was the SPG. That's a 30 millimeter gun here on the south side, and it's long range.
Hab is up village.
And he's now firing at something else.
Why is no one securing that bridge? 5-4, think about
Couldn't tell you what it is, though. And this SPG is actually, there's a new SPG here. He's looking for him, but he just can't see him at this range.
Yeah, that 30 millimeter trying to range it.
Mark on them up here.
Yeah, and I mean it's really, really tricky. He did kill the scout car. It is the SPG that's alive, so they didn't get a new one.
Also, those other guys not giving away their position over on that sort of eastern side, located over on the Kilo 8 keep had, say, 6 and 3. They do have a couple of markers there. Looks like RIP have seen them.
Yeah, RIP now, though, have actually guys heading for mines here. They're not too far off. So, Russian side needs to head back and defend that. There's no Russians on that flag right now.
Yeah, so there's other guys now, a lot of the RIP guys on the village, shifting their momentum over towards the eastern side. Two of the TOG guys, or those other guys, going down there, Xray and Dutch Poison.
Yeah.
Horsefish still alive, Otis now down, just bleeding out there, and Xray. ST Hype.
Make sure you take that vehicle, squad 5.
So a nice
Sorry,
little,
yeah,
Yeah.
5 and 4.
nice little foothold here by the Rusty in places on the village, not allowing for any good old Russians to get in there. Holding the south side with SVG there. Those other guys over on the eastern side, up towards the northern side. We have a couple of Zulu Xray Deltas.
Yeah, trying to push in, but look at this coordination as well from RIP. As soon as they find out there's guys on the east side, they've got a full squad heading that way, trying to clear them out.
Yeah, a nice little, nice little push.
Marker accurate.
And now they're churning. Now they're just changing their direction, going north for these Zulu Xray Delta guys.
Yeah, Oily going down there.
The west of my rally point.
Door still
Yeah.
alive and Zulu Xray Delta Lee still alive as well.
Yeah, it's Dodge and Lee. Actually, they're nearing the FOB. I just noticed I'm flying over the enemy FOB here. So they
Yes, correct. I actually
not
didn't see
actually
that.
that far off. Yeah.
100%.
And now
Okay,
Russians
squad, Juliet
defending
9, keep that
mines
to
as
hold
well.
squad.
Jesus, this rush really worked out for RIP here.
Yeah, beautiful rush. It is a more or less bit easy. Scout car now on fire. He's heading up towards the northern side up the
Enemy
K line.
have
He's going to
Juliet-
start getting
Juliet
back to the
9,
main
keep at 1.
and get that sort of repaired. But yeah,
Marking with
for
green
the militia side, it is more or less quite easy to get down to
Have
to this
green
position and
Copy.
strike that sort of second flag. Now the militia now capturing and holding sort of the village now. The next attack point for them is
Keep
over
them
on the
busy there
mine,
for
over
now.
on the
Spawn
Foxtrot and
dead
Golf
for the
8.
Ooh,
village,
hang on.
spawn the dead for
Move
the village.
move south. Watch that 30mm because we have Bowl here with he's got the hat kit and he's moving towards that position. I might have spoken a little too soon though. I just see him there with the hat kit across the valley from that 30
getting a
mil
happy now near mine.
tank.
Yeah, poison spider there from those other guys in that sort of 30 millimeter. The new BTR 4.
Okay. Get
See,
your
he's
troops
looking
on
at
the
it.
fence.
This is actually quite.
Mark, you're on the attack.
Oh no, he's not even got it out
Stand by
yet.
for help.
Yeah, but I think they hear it from that distance moving around. So
You need
he's
to tell
probably he knows it's there. He just wants a clear line.
Yay, local recording didn't have commentary. Here we go. Oh my god. That was
Oh, there we go.
close.
Yeah, that's the hat.
Together from this hat.
Yeah, he's actually he's flipped. He's flipped down that mountain, gone on fire, and Bowley just barely missing.
All squads.
Oh!
Oh, that was super
was a-
duper close.
That was a. I'm sure that was a
Yeah,
direct
and
hit on
that
the back.
That is 25 tickets as well rolling away. So it's actually a big loss there for Bull missing that second shot. He's kicking himself, I'm sure.
Nice little lone survivor up here for Bowl, just up in
Right,
here,
cabs up,
defending
let's
TOG just down towards the south there in the ridge.
lost our fob and
Yeah.
our hams on hilltop. Just so
And
you're
fighting
aware, I have
uphill
got my
is
rally point
not
there still.
fun.
All right, I think
Keep your rally there if you
I
don't
think I
mind.
might shift
Yeah, we'll need some thinners back
elsewhere just to see how we are. Looks like Rip now still in the center. It looks like Jeff Wills SPG now getting hit.
Someone to cover the fob.
Yeah, they're still trying to defend their FOB on the north side here.
We're
Zulu
preventing
Xray Delta
flooding.
still pushing in,
All units up here are
not knowing how close they are to the enemy fob.
Yeah, BTR now rolling away. Hot potatoes, save energy there from Zulu Xray Delta out on the western side. Around about that J8, I guess you would say. Getting one hit of the RPG. Rip still within the village center. I guess you would say the third flag for them. But now we do have up towards the northern side. Rip now saying in the squad comps.
Yep. I noticed something here. There, we can't see the tickets of both sides.
Oh, really? I can.
Whiskey, you won't keep
Yeah.
attacking to this
You
house.
can. Okay, so then
Yeah.
it's just me. Oh, that's fine. Then it's super
strange.
duper. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange thing there, but yes, tickets-wise, guys, we are around about 15 minutes of play now. Tickets remaining, 456 tickets for the militia forces, Russian ground forces, 376 tickets. So we do have a almost 100 ticket difference there. We're looking around about, say, 80-ish.
Wow. But that's pretty fast. It's like 15 minutes played now.
Yep.
So
15 minutes, 500 tickets on the clock. We are looking at 500 tickets, and already down to 370 tickets for the Russian forces side. Fire team, those other guys, SVG, Seranian Vanguard, and Zulu Xray Delta up against RIP for a good old Tactical Tuesday. More or less quiet on the village front now. Main focus has been village. That's where all the action's sort of happening. RIP engaging the Russian forces, coming up to their sort of second flag. But unfortunately, RIP getting there ASAP, and unfortunately for the Russians, unable to. So a lot of our focus has been on the
village,
sort of village side, and RIP doing a really great job sort of holding that south sort of section, holding the northern section now against Zulu Xray Delta. Down towards the south,
absolutely.
those other guys, SVG.
And it's just this sort of the very offensive defense they're running as well. They're not fighting on flag. They're meeting the enemy where the enemy is, and that's always going to be helpful. It's going to help you sort of defend the flag, and it gives you an extra fallback line, I would say, because if you die sort of offensively defending, then you can still spawn back at flag and push out again.
Yeah,
and it gives you a second chance, I would say.
Yeah, it says, you know, the best offense is sort of a defense, but you have to be offensive in your defense. And definitely, if you got that sort of hab or fob sort of around that sort of area, around that sort of flag, then yeah. You're basically pushing out the forces so they can't get any closer and really constrain you in those houses or whatnot in close quarter combat. Fair enough, sacrifice a couple of tickets, but they have to go back to either a fob that's X amount of meters away or a rally point, and you only have to go back to the sort of nearest flag. Coming over towards the mine entrance here. Mine entrance, the last flag for the militia forces. And it looks like just out on the western side, Rusty in places, Pyro, Black Panther, and Mark located out there.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I believe, Fire Team holding off the advancing RIP forces.
But look at how close they are to enemies, and just crawling around there. And I'm just gonna call him Ya. He's super duper close to spotting, but didn't spot. And they're just crawling, this little three-man crew. It's amazing.
Yeah, Pyro, Mark, and Black Panther there. Out towards their western side, up in the hills there. They got a couple of the fire team happening there.
Pull back, tighten up, mate, on that.
As you said, Ya and Bro up there as well.
South Aspen's got the west and the mid.
Absolutely. And I think this is sort of another thing about the coordination of RIP as well. They're sending a three-man crew now just to check it out, just to get a feel for it. If it was empty, they could have capped, but it's not empty, so now they're just looking around. You know, it's that kind of they're thinking forward, right? They're not attacking yet. They still have their defense to think about, but they're checking it out. They're sending splitting up and sending small crews to do all sorts of jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think they have an LAT there as well. Just in case something tasty goes by.
Yeah, just having a look at their kits now, I believe. Yeah, definitely have one medic being Pyro. Mark there, the squad leader, and Black Panther. Gonna be a GL.
Yeah, so no LAT.
That BTR marker, BTR.
But still, they can warn. They can easily warn village about any passing vehicles as well, which is a bit of a boon.
Nice little thing, little feature that Fire Team are doing over here on the south side of that squad 5, that three-man squad. They're actually building a pillbox of an MG nest there. So it's a nice little feature they're placing in there. But still, no eyes on this three-man little RIP squad
It's facing to
on the outside of the mine
10,
entrance.
Yeah, keep up the intel broadcast.
Should be somewhere around here, maybe.
If you look on the south side of village right now, we have Bull going to engage a standard BTR here. He still has the hack kit. And he's chasing it right now.
Yeah, moving over there now. Reaper, still up around that region. Bull's still up around that region as well. He's
doing a good job, guys.
He's smelling tickets. That's what he can smell.
Yeah, he can smell tickets, definitely. And they are quite alone here, and it's very, very difficult to spot infantry among these trees.
They're pushing hard to
He's now heading the opposite direction, though. I think he just wants to flank. Yeah,
they're pushing
and they are helpfully standing still for him.
Yeah, it could be the case that he might head over towards this region He knows. I'm sure it's going sort of through his mind. If that BTR goes across that bridge and up towards village area, it will come into contact with anything that's sort of over there. So if Bowl stays around the back of it or on its escape route, then yeah, if it looks to retreat in any way, then he can take a couple of shots at it.
Yep. But he's just staying there. He might be waiting for. No, he's not. It's sort of. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's thinking something. I'm sure.
Yeah, that BTR is just going to stay just where that 30mm was previously.
Not yet.
A couple of minutes ago.
Copy.
Yep.
I'm behind the lines.
And village is well under attack now from the west. Pretty heavy line coming in.
Yeah, that's Persians up against the good old Spartans there. That's a decent amount of sort of Russians coming up against this sort of militia. Zulu Xray Delta sort of taking that sort of taking the gully or the road. Looks like SVG, Seranian Vanguard, taking the sort of northern section there up on the I-7 sort of region. Zulu Xray Delta taking the I-8, and possibly those other guys taking the south side.
This BTR firing now, and Bowl, I think, is heading out. He is. He's still a ways off, so you don't need to focus yet.
Really good to see the militia forces as well taking advantage of their assets. Every asset that gets destroyed. Whoop. There it goes.
Ooh.
Gonna say
every BTR getting
south.
flanked now though.
Oh, he is too. Gonna head over there now. But every asset that gets destroyed by the militia forces, they're always back at main and they're getting more assets. Of course,
but their assets are relatively cheap as well.
Yeah.
They are expensive.
Oh!
Ooh. Taking a hit, and he is sort of forced. Like, where does he go now?
Yep.
Does he go in? He needs to go in the river. That's his only savior right now.
Yeah, so behind him he does have the scout card. Scout card on.
He's figured it out though.
Oh, Bolt. Oh, perfect for Bolt. Oh my god.
BTR down south.
That was glorious.
Beautiful shot. Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, I think that might have been friendly fire there. Not too sure, but yeah, that was...
Oh yeah, that was friendly fire, definitely.
Glory. With that sort of, with that BTR just stopping dead in his tracks, Bowl had to line up sort of in front of it, but with it just stopping,
All squads on village. We've got enemies close to the road.
And TOG now managing to push up on this southern hill here. I think they have total control over it, and Zulu Xray Delta joining them as well.
Yeah, so we, as we saw previously, Zulu Xray Delta sort of taking the gully side. They are taking the, say, the I-8 section. And now we do have those other guys actually taking the south side I-8 keypad 3 region, pushing all the way over into sort of the J-8 keypad 1, 2, 3. Taking the south side. I think Seranian Vanguard sort of held up on the northern side. We're looking around sort of the I-6 keypad, say 1, 2, 3, and I-7 square.
Aspen, Eisen, Juliet 8, they're pushing down from the hill.
But this is a heavy fight right now.
Yeah.
They really do.
So you do have the Russian forces here, Zulu Xray Delta and TOG on the south side here of the village, or sort of the south, I should say the southwest, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have this sort of uphill advantage. RPGs, of course, can fire down, and they can fire down, and of course they have the crest to sort of protect them there as well.
Yeah, they do have a lot of people just down the valley to their northeast as well, though. As well as RIP having basically infinite ammo for RPGs down there.
Some really nice,
and really nice 50 cal work there by AE Jarl. Wow.
Yeah, definitely using that techie to its advantage there.
Is it moving east a bit?
Absolutely. And they're getting slightly pushed. They have a rally point, though, just slightly behind their actual line. So they could hold up there pretty long.
Yeah, so what that is... What is that? What that's doing is actually it's consolidating the TOG forces, the other guys' forces. They're actually bunched up now in that smoke. You know, medics working as hard as they can to sort of get them up. And now we're going to see Rip guys now come up with the concealment of that sort of smoke. We have Frog out towards that sort of south side there. Coming out really close to him.
Pushing up against Blue Banana, gets Blue Banana. And now shooting the rest of them. Oh, but going... No, he doesn't go down.
No, he doesn't go down. He just dolphin dives there. Gets on the edge there.
That's Indigo 7, enemy fire team.
There goes a grenade, and we'll see how that sort of grenade goes. Just a bit short there. Oh, gets another one down.
Eating it.
So we won't be attacking, guys. We just stick to this bit.
And he's got now support there from Plebs.
Bleed him up.
Yeah, Zay as well coming in close. Mob and Joe sort of flanking on the sides here. I don't think, unless Frog starts killing a lot very fast, he's not going to survive very long. Oh, Joe just not looking at all.
The vehicle up on the hill in India 8 keypad 3.
Yeah, looks like Zulu Xray Delta and more or less TOG, Oily, Lee, Nixon, TOG, Subtle Rod now down, but they're actually pushing to the south side, around about the J9 keypad 6 region.
Oh yeah. But I mean, this isn't gonna amount to much. Like TOG can hold that hill all they want, as long as Zulu Xray Delta could throw people, or sorry, RIP could throw people at them indefinitely.
Yep.
It's not really gonna work. They need support from the north or from a different angle. Just sort of break RIP's hold right here.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, they can. If the longer they stay there, the longer they sort out that cap zone. They're taking taking a lot more hits, and it looks like another BTR is taking a hit on that western road of village.
Is that his correct designation?
Actually, that's not the BTR. Apologies for that.
I've just got some disturbing comms here, but it turns out not to be true. I thought they said the FOB on the mines was going down, but there's... RIP are not attacking at all.
No.
I think they're just happy sitting here on this flag
Yep.
and just waiting it out.
Yep, and it's working. It is working gloriously.
Absolutely.
Militia forces, 405 tickets. That's Rusty in places. On the Russian forces side, 213 tickets. The gap has widened from 80 tickets on the 15-minute mark. We're actually coming up to 30 minutes. So in 15 minutes, they've lost around about 170-ish, if I'm not mistaken, tickets.
Yeah.
Of course, we are looking at Fortress capped, Hilltop encampment capped, Village capped by all the militia forces. Only capped for the Russian forces is the mine. So definitely you're taking into consideration ticket bleed. We've seen a couple of assets of the Russian forces, of course, going down as well, and just more or less eastern side attack earlier on Village by those other guys. Unfortunate, not going ahead. Zulu Xray Delta to the north. Unfortunate, not being able to go ahead. And also now this western push that we're sort of seeing here on this sort of J8 and J9. Again, it's not working. Rip definitely have this whole area down to pat.
Yeah, and they're pushing TOG very, very hard now. Actually having flanked them as well from the southwest side here. So they've got TOG sort of in a vice right now. Fortunately, SVG are pushing in from the northwest finally, so they should be increasing the pressure on RIP.
Yeah, so Seranian Vanguard always being up in that sort of northern section, and it's just been a battle for ground up there. SVG losing a lot of ground, and now it looks like they're actually gaining a lot of ground, getting the high ground up there. A couple of the Rusty in places guys there, around about 2, 4, 6, with another 2, let's say around about 8 forces up there.
Yeah. And I mean, RIP are pretty much all on this flag, right? They don't have to defend anything other than that, and they're just sticking to it. So we have like nearly 36 people on this flag just holding it. Now, however, I think it's Russian side's biggest chance to get this right now with Zulu Xray Delta on the east. TOG almost holding that southern hill, and SVG coming up on the north.
Flanking squad there, saw earlier Zulu Xray Delta's Oily, Lee, and Door as well. I actually thought they might have went down on that sort of south side, but
India 5.
yeah, it could be.
They're holding and they're now consolidating.
If you need to.
Sort of gathering up on top. They're ready to push down. It's going to be tricky for them, though. Basically, they need to find and take out that FOB, but it's constantly being guarded. by Hellenfeuer.
Just
Yeah,
don't
so yeah, the fob locator on that sort of K7 keypad 6 area, surrounded by Group 4, which is made up of, let's see, Group 4, Hollenfeuer, Troll, Gono, Dougie, Piano, Dildo, yep, I should have said Big Baggins, Aiko, Jarl, and Bernie there, keeping that fob safeguarded, surrounded, and the Habs
you look at
not
the,
too far away either.
If you look at the Zulu Xray Delta boys, though, they are looking that way.
I
think they suspect the FOB to be up there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Roger that. Yeah.
There is an FOB actually marked on map towards that direction. It is not. It's not an exact marker, but it is roughly there. It's up by piano flights, roughly.
Yep. So Kilo 7 keypads at 3 and 6 line. That's where it is, exactly on the line there. We're going to see Bobbly Swagger there. He's dropping off some logistics. He's going to head back up and get that sort of resorted. Again, Seranian Vanguard, Rip over on that sort of northwestern region of the village.
Yeah, but they've nearly taken out everyone right now.
Yeah.
Only Emovin left. And he's going toe-to-toe with Renegade, who's also taking 50 fire. He's in the crap.
And
literally.
ripping through those other guys. But look at the other guys. The other guys that were up on the southwest. Wow. They've gone down the center. They've gone down the center, down that sort of western road.
Oh, and flanking around and just holding the compounds. That's really smart.
Zulu Xray Delta now getting their attack on the fob.
You need to keep it tight on that.
Wow, and they're capping village. They're telling me they're capping.
That bridge needs permanent.
And with Zulu Xray Delta attacking that fob at the same time, this is going to put a huge amount of pressure on RIP. Their position might just crumble.
Wow, Zulu Xray Delta ripping through Rip there to get to that fob location.
Let's go for
And only Bernie alive here on the south side. But he's in between Zulu Xray Delta right now and could go down any second.
Enemies taking the fob out.
And actually, Zulu Xray Delta are attacking the HAB as well as the FOB.
Yep.
And they're saying now they're on the fob as well.
Yeah, digging up that fob now.
Yeah. So this position is definitely crumbling.
Enemies Kilo 8, Key 9 moving into the hubs now.
Ooh, and on the south side, it looks like a BTR going up against a standard truck. No, it died. Wow.
Yeah, a bit of a close quarter combat here. With the Rip guys now spawning in. Zulu Xray Delta's Furious going down. Mob's still alive.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to supply this flag. But the problem is, these are basically lost tickets. I do not think you can retake this.
No, we're looking at
lose your fob.
Yeah, 380 tickets compared to 133 tickets now. Russians with 133, Militia with 380 tickets. The gap is widening.
250 ticket lead.
Yeah,
that's
you would have to see a total shift in momentum. Of course, village would have to be captured. They already have to have guys on hilltop and camping capturing that, and etc. etc.
But here's the coordination of RIP coming in again. They now have people on hilltop.
Yeah.
They're going there now and they have a Logi truck. They're going to drop a fob and yeah. So they're ready for that.
Yeah, transport truck there, Logi truck out towards that sort of northeastern side of hilltop encampment.
Did that FOB go down?
Let's have a look. It hasn't, no.
Wow.
It was saved by Rip.
Best way
Of course, a lot of the Zulu Xray Delta's forces there, shifting their momentum over towards the HAB that was located just in one of the compounds. Seranian Vanguard now coming out of that hill on that sort of northwestern region. A lot of the TOG guys now down with the Rip guys coming in from that west to east area.
What about that BDL mark on the bridge?
TOG though re-engaging that compound, actually getting up on the western hill as well.
And Zulu Xray Delta are going to stick to that sort of southern side. So they're basically what they're doing. They're taking the J9 keypad 1, 2, 3, K9 keypad sort of 1, 2, 4 or 5, and they're sort of taking that way to assault it. Now we've got sort of Frog, Bowley, and sort of Plebbles here, sort of around that region.
Yeah, they are a lot more localized now, though. RIP, a
Enemies
lot
pushing south of
closer
village.
around their
Yeah,
fob.
enemies pushing
Yep.
south of the village.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep
They
that
secure their hab. A couple of the guys are up near the fob, and now what they're doing is they're pushing out of the hab out towards that sort of eastern
It's a whole
side.
squad here,
Zulu
whole
Xray
squad
Delta now coming into contact with Frog and Bowley. Frog, there from Rusty in Places, is the squad leader for RIP, and he's already indicated to the other squad leads of a southern push
Whole
on
squad
village.
incoming north.
Yeah. And TOG still pushing that compound on the west side as well.
Yep. Close quarter combat there with Rusty in Places and TOG on that western side. SVG even coming on in and helping hand with Call of Duty there. Renegade coming on over as well.
And Jeff will doing damage. He's sniping from that little north hill there and killing TOG as they approach. I'm sure he has a bunch of kills.
Yeah, good old AK there. AK with scope. And just having a look now, looks like Zulu Xray Delta is sort of coming in from that south side, southeast sort of side. Now getting pinpointed down.
They want to go for that FOB again, but look at all these RIP members just trying to block them. Trying to stop their approach, and they're doing it.
Guys, we need
to
to
be
sort
honest.
this out. I'm gonna push out my
But
guys.
they still need to be on. They sort of need to
Frog, you
get the
should
balance
push
of
out south
blocking
as
the
much as
enemy's
you can.
approach to the FOB
stick on south,
and
Frog.
stopping the
Squad 5
capture
squad
on
here.
this flag.
Hailfire on the north
Yeah,
west and in
I
the
think
middle.
if Zulu Xray Delta sort of take that south point again, it's not going to work as it sort of previously did work. You know, that attack on that fob was fantastic, almost taking it
Absolutely.
out.
Push their whole team 'cause we're not attacking. But
I mean, I'm sure we were just talking about a couple seconds there because if they had one or two more guys on that FOB, it would have gone down, guaranteed.
Yeah, they had a really good placement on overlooking that hab with any sort of Rusty in Places militia
we're all
forces
good
coming
to
out of
go
the hab.
in,
But unfortunately, there were still a couple of Rusty in Places guys north of the fob on that sort of K line, which were able to take out Zulu Xray Delta there. But it really is Seranian Vanguard and TOG here on the western side, holding steadily in those compounds.
Yep. They're trying to sort of push in. RIP coming in from their southwest now, though.
Yeah, with Zulu Xray Delta now sort of getting pushed out on that sort of eastern side. Zulu Xray Delta lead, the only one left on that sort of eastern southeast side of village.
Yeah.
Slowly getting surrounded.
Yeah, Mob and Ferry, or the rest of Zulu Xray Delta are pushing away.
bit of a
They're
tray
not
there.
going to approach that same side.
Yeah, Zulu Xray Delta Lee getting taken down there, but
Can you
not
send
without
one guy
taking
to
down
Kilo
Bernie.
9, keep out 6.
Yeah, but this is the winner's advantage, though.
Take
Their
full
medics could
response.
just go in and get those
They keep
guys
coming
back
from
up. And the southern push is actually bearing fruit here.
Yeah, we even have
by RIP.
inside the
carry on.
village center,
West
we have
side,
TOG pushing out on the western side over towards the eastern side with Seranian Vanguard Simon. So they're actually switching sides from one side of the road to the other. Now coming into contact with Rip Bowley just up towards their northern sector is the is the hab location.
Yeah.
Command's gonna stay at
So
Hilltop.
they're trying to squeeze the
We're
enemy out of the
definitely
flag and
secured
recapture, and they are capturing currently. Yep, they are. So RIP now needs to get back on flag, basically.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of momentum sort of happening now, sort of Seranian Vanguard, those other guys, sort of like Xray Delta. The fire team are going to basically staying back over towards that mine entrance, playing this sort of defense game for the Russian forces. But it could be a little too late. We are looking now, the tickets, 347 tickets coming up to 40 minutes of play exactly. So 346 tickets for the militia forces, Russian ground forces, 65 tickets. 65 tickets.
I mean, I think we can safely say that Russians won't win this round, but right now what they're playing for is minimizing the amount of tickets that RIP win with, giving themselves a better chance to win next round as confidently as RIP won this round.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there is actually no way out of sort of winning this one, but yeah, minimize those tickets as much as possible, and then when you're militia next round, you'll see how it sort of goes.
Yep. And I'm surprised how well this rush went, and I'm surprised they didn't actually expect it. We will have to see next round. Obviously, they're going to expect a rush, but I think next round RIP won't rush.
Yeah, I think, of course, previous sort of Tactical Tuesdays that I've either recorded or streamed. Of course, you've been recording some of the more previous ones. Or the latest ones. Yeah, definitely something that Rusting Places have is patience. They have patience. They will stay on a flag for 2 hours just to hold that sort of tickets if they won that sort of first round. So if it's the case now, what, 339 tickets against 53 tickets, say if they win 300 tickets, yeah, most definitely.
I remember actually casting a match with Anubisvalor. And that was RIP versus a couple of the clans. I think it was a CCFN, but I can't be sure. And basically, they it was about 50-50. They couldn't really attack successfully, and they couldn't defend successfully. They thought maybe they were up on tickets, so they decided to hold the status quo and just stopped attacking.
Yeah.
And that match lasted 2 hours, and they won by, like 50 tickets, right? And it's just that sort of goes to explain the mentality of RIP and their determination, I would say.
Oh, 100%, yeah. They're in it to win it. Definitely, they got 2 hours on the clock there for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. And that match was a bit of a, and it was the first round as well. So we were just horrified, expecting the worst for the second round. Fortunately, that went slightly faster.
Seranian Vanguard now gonna.
Zulu Xray Delta still on the west though.
Yeah, Zulu Xray Delta still on that eastern side. But Seranian Vanguard coming up from that where they've been coming from previously is that sort of northwestern region of Village. Still sort of hitting those planes, and I think what
they have it all to themselves now.
Yeah, I think what they're planning to do, I think they're going to attack that fob. I think they're going to head from that northwest out towards the eastern section. If they can get across the road and they don't get sort of pinned down, they got Seranian Vanguard's Frankie up towards the northern region, already taking down Baby James of Rusty in places.
Yeah.
So we'll
and
see.
if you zoom out slightly as well, you'll see. I think they're possibly trying to coordinate slightly with Zulu Xray Delta coming in from the side here, and RIP are forced now to pull people out of their flag, giving TOG another chance to.
Yeah, 100. You can see TOG with those are quite a number of people. Quite a number of people down in that compound now. Their medics are going to start to get them up and get them revived and refreshed. So you are seeing a lot of fire fronts now for Rusty in places. You got one up to the north, one out towards the northwest. You got one out towards the east and southeast. You still got TOG over towards the western side as well. So,
It is a testament to just their skill and their tactics that they're actually holding through this.
Yeah,
because
100%.
I know I would crumble under this kind of pressure.
100%, even Rusty in places now. Whoa! Blast on my AK, I think it was. Throwing a grenade, takes down 3. Takes down Piano, fights Troll, and I think Baby James was down by that grenade, but he could have went down just previously. But yes, beautifully placed grenade there, taking out that northern defense force of Rusty in places. Now Blast on my AK is going to get an eye on that fob.
East, and I think towards the north.
If you can, score 5 even.
Obviously, guarding FOBs is no longer any kind of issue. He is taking fire though. Blast on my AK needs to hide. He's throwing smoke grenades though.
Yeah, unfortunately goes down.
I think he's throwing smoke grenades just to indicate where exactly the fob is.
Yeah, towards his northwest region. He's got Seranian Vanguard's Terry.
Yeah, and they're now saying in squad comms, okay guys, fall back. Let's just take out as many enemy tickets as possible. Unfortunately, they have enough dead people. They have more than 10 dead people on this flag. So regardless of falling back or not, they're gonna just lose on basically the lost tickets they have just lying around here.
Yeah, you are looking at now 322 tickets and 9 tickets remaining for the Russian forces there. Just that rush at the start with militia forces there, splendid, and they got there first. They repelled the Russian forces. Russian didn't know what to hit them, and then it's always been just a constant Russian forces attack on the village. But militia have always had so much more assets down here and a lot more coordination.
Yeah,
and there
and
it
I
goes.
think part of the error as well is 322
You
tickets.
guys.
Wow, that's a solid win though for
Solid
RIP.
win. Yeah, solid win.
And I feel like RIP, like, or the sort of game-winning thing they could have done on the Russian side was just going gung-ho for that FOB, because that FOB was sort of the linchpin for RIP's hold there.
Yeah, it was their backbone. Definitely.
They just didn't get enough pressure on it.
Yeah, it's just like what you said, sort of previously in the game or in the stream was the case that, you know, Rusting Places, they can spawn at that flag on their hab or in their fob and whatnot like that, and keep pushing the enemy, but the enemy's either rally point or hab or fob is located X amount of meters away, so all the meters they've gained are now lost, and they have to sort of get back in there. It's sort of instead of Rusting Places saying, "Oh, let's just protect village and stay indoors and do that," well, no. Rusting Places said, "We're going to defend, but we're also going to be aggressive as well. We're going to sort of bring the fight to them."
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean they sent that little 3-man squad just to check out the next flag, and when they saw the enemy already there, they just we're not going to bother even. We're just going to hold.
Yeah.
But they did their scouting sort of. They checked and figured meh.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, so I think we're gonna do a break.
I think so, yeah. 5-minute break, maybe 5 to sort of 10 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
In that meantime, I'm gonna play
and
tiny little bit of music. I'm gonna get some water. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Water of life.
Water
All right.
of life. We'll be back in 5 minutes time for round 2. You know, Rip winning their 300 plus tickets. So we'll see Rip are going to be on, or Rusting Places are going to be on the Russian side, and we're going to see Zulu, Delta, Seranian Vanguard, those other guys, and Fire Team are going to take on Militia, and we'll see exactly what they do. But they have a long uphill battle to really come up against Rusting Places.
They do.
Alright guys, we'll be back in 5 minutes. See you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye. Are we paused? Alright, that's fine then.
Coming through loud
And
and
I've
clear.
got like a 1k ping in squad. I'm just thinking, I'm hoping it isn't my ISP, because they've been dicks before.
Yeah. That was major surprise. You never see Militia win that. In V8 it's looking very different. Yeah. $1 million! SVT... TOG. Alright. Pow. Just me. Yeah, they're just restarting the server and over again, I think. Join server. Yep. Alright, just keep disconnecting. Let's see. Oh, me. Lucky! 100%, man. Yeah, I've got to rip. Yeah, I've got to rip the audio from the YouTube video to get that commentary. Because like I think it was around about like yeah, it was like 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, so it was like you talking to yourself. So I'm gonna. It's pretty easy to edit. I'll just rip it on YouTube and then yeah. There's no way I could actually like. Oh, I could go back and just re-record that. No, there's no way. So yeah, I'll rip it off YouTube, add that to the video, and Bob's your uncle. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, I forgot. It's like, yeah, I'm just co-casting. It's like, who's casting then? It's my other personality. Alright, man. Welcome back. That's all it is, yeah, man. Just need a little push. That's right, man. No, it was all lined up anyway. That's what I got. So basically, when you were speaking, it was all coming through perfectly. I need to get water, man. I never left my desk. One sec. It's like 2 seconds. Select color. Right. Alright, we'll just wait for these guys.
Yep.
Let me pause that. I remember.
Do you sit like, because I only like, I talk to myself a lot when I'm working, especially. Yeah, it's sort of weird. I had a guy from another company just working around me today, and I'm like, and then I take the screws and I do this, and he's like, "Who are you talking?"
Cool. I do that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just listening to you now, and then you go like, and I do this.
Yeah, man, of course.
And I'm like, yeah. That's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
I don't do it when I'm sitting alone on my computer because I don't know. It's just, it's different. I don't know. When I'm at work, I sort of have to think about what I'm doing. It matters. FT still waiting on one more. TOG ready. Yeah, so I think we're... and you switched... No, you didn't switch sides, but
no,
I will switch just so we can see. So we're at 36-36. So right now, both teams are missing one. I think. And it's just the way sort of RIP squads as well are built up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are.
And they've got like what? They've got one squad's called 1-1, another is 1-3, one is 2-1, so they can use like military callouts, right? At least that's how we do it in Norway. In Norwegian military, it's like 3. This is 1, or this is 3-1.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
Road to 100. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, that is road to victory.
Yeah. Yeah, probably like 100 victories or something.
Or just isn't there some sort of, because there's a meme and I have no idea, or like an emoji and I have no idea what it is. It's just the 100 thing, right? And I've got no fucking clue. I don't know where it came from. It is a constant reminder that I'm getting old. And I think this is something to do with that, and I'm just gonna pretend like I know what it means, so people don't think I'm weird. All right, start on 156, so 15 seconds.
All right. So they're gonna be 4 minutes out. All right, let me turn off this music. I'll turn down this music. Alright, I think we got everything. Audio, 80, 100, cool. Let's make sure. Microphone, desktop, take off that text. We're cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, round 2. Welcome. How are thee? Someone just went straight through the map there on the militia side. Unfortunate there. But yeah, we are going to see round 2. Rip taking it out with 300 plus tickets. Very big margin. Rip rusty in places, of course, being the Russian side, being the militia side. Sorry, the first round. Now taking the Russian ground forces side with a Seranian Vanguard. The other guys, Xray Delta and Fire Team, going to be taking the militia forces side. 500 tickets each. 200 hours. No, 2 hours on the clock. And we are playing Fool's Road AAS V2. Militia side are going to take the K line. Very similar to what the militia Rip did last round. But we are, of course, playing Fool's Road AAS V2. Militia starting up at the northern side. Fortress first flag, second flag hilltop, third flag village, fourth flag mine, vice versa for the Russians starting down on that sort of southwestern side. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Alright.
And RIP actually taking the slow route. They're not even going to try to head to village early. Just the same sort of tactic that militia did last time. they're just stopping early, and I think they're gearing up to drop a fob on the south side of village, though.
Yeah, 3-man squad over there on the sort of southwest. I think Baby James, Chewy, Aspen sort of out there, and all the way down on the south-south Old Russian sort of base start. Even the American start over there on the version 3 of Fool's Road, but Zulu Xray Delta getting their guys in to the village. And we have there, we do have a fob truck for the Rusty Places, and it's just going to be on the south side there. 2 guys already getting out, being Jarl.
And RIP not really rushing at all. They're doing none of that stuff. Which is, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's giving Militia the best chance possible to actually win this.
Yeah, so we do have just only Zulu Xray Delta in the village side now. Angus Mob, Farius Lee, Nixon, and 2 others up towards that sort of northeast area. Potatoes in the scout car to the sort of northern side. You know, Rip slowly starting to come in now, placing the rally point down on the south side of village. I believe a 2, 4, 6, sort of 8-man squad now sort of coming in with Rusty in places. But they're definitely indeed, they are sort of taking their time. Sort of getting into this sort of village part. Angus already going down. Beautiful.
Yeah, but Farius on the south side here, Zulu Xray Delta Farius, having killed 5 guys so far with a sniper rifle.
Wow. Yeah, just having a look at the Fallen now.
Yeah, and he's basically demolished them down there. I don't think anyone else has shot at this other squad.
Just trying to see if there's anything out in the distance. I don't think there is.
No, and I mean, you do have SVG again on that northern hill, believe it or not, coming up behind a second squad of RIP members here.
Yeah, that's 100% over on the I-70 keypad 123 area, coming in from that sort of western road region. Rip just out towards the eastern side. Jeff Will and his crew there. The SVG Seranian Vanguard up against around about a 3-man force now of Rip out on that western side.
Yeah, and RIP have a super aggressive fob on the south side of village as well. It is basically on my, if you see my little tagger, it's right underneath me here.
Yeah, so around about that sort of K9 keypad sort of 5 region.
Yep.
So we are Farius down there, Lee down there also. Angus was down, now up. And Rusty in places now sort of hitting that old TOG compound that we saw the last round, sort of TOG taking that western side village. One of the Rusty in places there, Baby James out towards that region.
Yeah, but RIP are struggling to take this, actually. That's very, very interesting. You'd think they would try and counter their own strategy. But
Seranian Vanguard, Seranian Vanguard now sort of wiping out that sort of that Rip squad out on that sort of western road there, now heading down over towards the J8 keypad 123 region, probably going to take up that sort of hill placement and sort of get eyes on and help out Zulu Xray Delta down towards the south region.
Yeah. This could end up being really, really interesting. But, I mean, just because you can do the rush doesn't mean you can do the hold.
How's it going on?
It's going to be really, really tricky, but they sure as heck got a really good start at it.
Yeah, standard BTR over across the bridge on that sort of south side there. Just helping out with securing that road. And a cap in play for the Zulu Xray Delta guys. We do have the militia now capturing the fortress hilltop and now capturing the village area. I do see just out in the distance, I think there are a couple of Rusty in places probably on the southeast side of hilltop.
Yeah, and I mean, they are capping right now. This is actually amazing. I did not expect this to go this way, but it is. It absolutely is. And I think Militia now have a working FOB. No.
This is
they do, however, have this light APC on the
hilltop.
on the west side here. Actually, a really nice position for it.
Yeah, Hot Potatoes here in that sort of scout car. 3-man sort of scout car now. He's going to get on this sort of eastern side of the map. See if he can get any sort of any bearings down on towards that sort of fob location, down on that sort of south side village. Now it looks like Rip coming in from that sort of south side and also towards the southwest side. Seranian Vanguard out towards that sort of western side hill, southwest side hill. So you are seeing a couple of the Rip located on the J9 keypad 3 and Seranian Vanguard up towards the opposite end on the J9 keypad 7 region. So you're gonna have
and RIP built their hab pretty much on the same location as TOG's old hab near the river here. And SVG are already on it. They've spotted that hab.
And nothing in comms at the moment. I don't believe by Seranian Vanguard. Seranian Vanguard coming up against Rip. Now just taking advantage and coming up that hill. Seranian Vanguard, majority of their guys down, only right about 3 guys left. JLG, Call of Duty, and there's somebody who knows still alive. But Rip
flag
Rip
is crumbling right now.
Yeah, Rip now sort of on that sort of south side. Now we see Hot Potatoes scout car going down with the BTR down on the south side of village, just across that river there, taking down that scout car. And we are going to see Rust in Places now capping village. On the western side, they are getting into that sort of TOG compound of the village that we saw on previous round 1. And they are coming in from that sort of south side, which they've held. And also they're probably going to take that sort of route that Zulu Xray Delta did on that sort of southeast section of village and secure that. So again, if you meet 1 Rip, you meet 300 Rips, I think.
Yeah, they're like cockroaches. You never just see one.
Oh, they're like an army of ants, maybe, but cockroaches, why not?
Yeah, I feel like both analogies work on multiple levels. All right, but I think the reason it might have gone poorly here. I don't think Zulu Xray Delta or the militia side had a solid spawn point at all. I mean, rally points do allow you to spawn, but they do also add that extra 15 seconds to your respawn counter compared to a hab.
100%, yeah. So it was only rally points that militia was sort of working off here. We saw previous round the Rip militia guys, or Rust in Places militia guys, were using the fob and the hab. So that allowed basically for any squad to sort of get on there. And especially if you are looking at, 4 clans now, Zulu Xray Delta, TOG, Seranian Vanguard, and FT, if you place a fob or a hab down here, then anyone that sort of dies anywhere else could always spawn back here and help out the defenders. Yeah,
and I mean, like the huge difference as well, if you, like, RIP used an FOB to attack, and they used an FOB to defend, and they won both engagements.
Yeah,
and fairly confidently as well.
They're a really good line sort of going here on that sort of south side. They're on the southwest, they're directly south on the road, and they're out towards the southeast now. They're basically sweeping across the, checking out every single aspect of the land, just in case there is a fob or a rally point they can sort of take down. And they're pushing in a really nice line. There's only a couple of Zulu Xray Deltas left. Oily, Joe, Door, still left alive. Just slowly getting surrounded and grenaded in this compound now.
Yeah, and they should start engaging Hilltop soonish.
And it was actually just a bit too late for the militia forces. They were placing a hab in that compound, almost the exact same compound that Rust in Places did.
We need someone on defense, boys.
They are down.
Yeah, that's why we're pulling back to defense.
Yeah, so that's too little, too late. And oh yeah, there it is. So right now they should know there's a fob as well then.
Yes, even I'm trying to locate that fob and I can't.
We need that fob.
Yeah, if you,
there it
it's
is,
probably then on the east side,
Yeah, it's K7, so it's almost exactly the same location as
I'm looking at it right now. And RIP are going to find it in 5 seconds. There they go, they found it.
Squad 2 built it where you are now.
I'm
Got you
still
covered.
sort of
Best option.
I'm
we
still
have.
having fun at the notion, like, because a lot of people still guard fobs. When you see a fob, you just take out your shovel immediately, start digging. There's no one spawning on a fob anymore.
I think it's just squad reflex.
Old habits die, old habits die super hard.
Yeah.
And I see Rip now moving en masse directly for Hilltop.
Yeah, very true. It's shifting that sort of southwest side that we saw just down on the J8 region, sort of shifting out the west side village, now shifting their weight out towards the sort of southwest region, getting across that sort of that western road, and definitely they're going to make their way over towards the Hilltop encampment. Squad 4, which is on the militia side, being fire team being the defense guys. Last round for these sort of 4 clans up against Rip. They're going to start heading back over towards Hilltop encampment.
Yeah, but I mean, Hilltop is a much harder retake than.
We're going for Hilltop.
It's a much harder retake than Villages, I would say. You have to pressure it a lot more, and on Hilltop as well. FOB and hab placement are crucial to holding this.
Yeah, that's kind of another thing is I sort of haven't seen in sort of V9 sort of yet in terms of the Hilltop and Hilltop defense, but if you're going to place a fob there or hab there, where would you sort of place it? Would you put it in the center of the compound? Would you put it, where you used to be able to put sort of that fob in that sort of northern building, or actually more or less that northern building, that you have that sort of cover of the building to protect you. Now you have a hab, which is a large structure.
It is a large structure. I mean, what you could do is you could drop it on the roof. You could drop it in the pool. You could basically drop it in the center here. I mean, you can spawn on that and start shooting out of the hab. As long as the hab is covered on 1 or 2 sides, you should be fine. Because you do have the 4 exits, so you can always exit the hab sort of one way or another as long as you have cover on that side.
Yeah.
You could drop it sort of just in the middle on the road here, so you could exit the hab and head into the southern building. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, I haven't seen it played out yet in terms of if you put that hab on there, where do you place it? So we'll definitely be seeing it really until sort of maybe around about sort of month. No, actually, I'm not going to say any date. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to have it tied to me. But really, until sort of V10 drops in the near future, on sort of that work, that sort of fob mechanics, and definitely with Hilltop.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, it's going to be tweaked as well.
Yeah. Sure, put that sort of fob hub in one of the buildings, but that hab.
If anyone needs it, I'm gonna.
Alright, so we are going to see. We're going to see the militia forces are going to lose a lot of ground here. They're actually going to play a bit of a defense, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like a fire team and TOG sort of getting on the Hilltop out towards the sort of eastern side of Hilltop. We do have Zulu, Delta, and a couple of TOG guys out there as well. Don't know. Would you keep up the pressure on Rusty in places on that village with say one defending or 2 defending and 2 keep attacking, or do you try to go for the defense? 300 tickets. It's a lot.
It is a lot. I mean, I would. I see both tickets now. Honestly, and RIP are almost in lead by 100 tickets again.
Sending the track on the road.
And it's 20 minutes played this time, so they have been slowed down. But still, I mean, if you want to win this as militia, you've got 30 tickets left. Exactly.
So if I recall, sort of last round at 15 minutes, I think they lost around about 80 or so tickets. We're talking about Xray, Delta, Fire Team, the other guys in Seranian Vanguard on the Russian side last round. I think around about 15 minutes, they lost 80 tickets. This round now, they're sort of. What are you looking at? You're around about 100. Yeah, more or less the equivalent. But again, 300 tickets is what the more than 300 tickets was what
I think it was 366 tickets. That's the thing. That's why I think they've got now even less.
30
But
north
yeah,
of
that
Hilltop
was a
on the road.
pretty decisive win they pulled out of their hat. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, you have to attack. If you want to win, you have to attack, right?
Yeah.
But how much do you put into it? And I think I just do one squad and have that squad spread out all the hell and just poke at them from every angle so they didn't know if it was one squad or two squads or what was happening, and they relegate as many forces as possible to defense.
Alright, I'm going to speed up my camera here. I do have a two-man squad here. I have Rikos and Von north side of the hilltop.
Yeah, that's a vehicle.
Yep.
That is a 30 caliber or 30 millimeter tank there. 30 caliber tank
Squad
would not
forwarding
be as
in. We've
good.
got enemy contacts. We're direct north of Hilltop. Enemy vehicle, part of it.
Oh no! He's disconnected. He's just got to get out of there. It's very unfortunate there.
Yeah,
Both
that's
resting places gonna get out.
actually a very impressive rocket. He's using the DC rocket there. And I always I don't really like those 30 millimeter the tracked ones because you hear them from so far away,
Yes.
and they're super duper slow as well.
Yeah, and they
take
slide.
a long time to build up speed. Yeah.
They definitely slip and slide. Looks like a scout force, attack force, rusty in places, just on the south side of the hilltop, getting taken out by fire team and TOG, pushing out sort of in that direction there. We do have a couple of rusty in places though, out towards that sort of ammo depot area, around about that sort of Echo 5, probably Echo 5, maybe keypad 4, if I'm not mistaken there. Let's head back down towards the south sort of region. We'll see how Zulu Xray Delta are doing. Seranian Vanguard are going to go and assist as well, but it's all down to that sort of village. That is the next point for the militia forces to attack. For the defense side, being the Russian forces rusty in places, we'll see how they're doing again. They're pushing out. They're keeping everything sort of solid, but they're pushing out of that sort of defense zone. I think the only sort of opening, more or less, is probably on the south side. But again, there's a couple of scattered rusty in places guys down on that sort of south side village.
Yeah.
They
really have a flag pretty much on lockdown.
Yep.
You can't sneak in here.
No,
basically.
No. Out towards the east side, you've got basically the map border. Out towards the west side, you've got a couple of guys, Aco, Faker, out on that sort of southwest hill. Down towards the south region, Dogbite and Aspen. Basically down on the south. We're looking past the bridge. Good old AER out towards that region. Really, every rip guide now on this flag of village is a tripwire. So if one goes down, you're just going to see every rip guide vocalize. Okay, they're coming in from this region, etc., etc. And I think an explosion happening to the north there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look slightly south, though, at the enemy hab, ST Hyper just dug it down. So the hab for RIP is actually down. You'll see a lot of them moving south now to check that out.
Very smart. TOG now moving up towards that sort of west region or west hill as well. And you're going to see Jarl. He's going to shift his scope on the south side and look over towards that river.
And I think ST Hyper, thinking enemies are going to be heading his way, he just dug it down until the point where it was unspawnable.
Yep.
And then he ran off, and now he's just looking. I don't think he realizes Jarl is there. And Jarl can't probably spot him, especially if he moves just ever so slightly. But militia camo not as bad as it used to be. All right, so RIP has some digging to do, and they're not overreacting. They're just sending ACO. So that's actually
patience.
not bad.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Patience.
It's bringing patience there. Hyper's going to stay out towards that sort of western side, southwestern side. Aiko will dig that back up. Hyper will come over, probably kill Aiko or vice versa. And then look at sort of digging again.
Yeah, and Kenny T as well moving in from the north now.
Okay, I'll start my assault soon.
So I think they're, and now Aiko has it back up. It's now spawnable.
And TOG's objective, what they're doing is trying to find their fob and just harass that hab.
And I mean, it's really smart as well, but because a lot of pressure has been taken off SVG coming in from the north now, just for RIP to figure out what's going on in the south. They've got to assume they have enemy forces there, but they don't know how much.
Yeah, they don't know.
And it's just that kind of uncertainty, sort of like you need to allow your enemy to make mistakes. You need to give them the opportunity to make mistakes, and that's exactly what they're doing by introducing sort of these little things like digging the hab down or having guys in and around the flag.
Yeah, like even Rusty in Places, Seranian Vanguard's coming down from their sort of favorite hill out towards the northwest side of village, but you've got Rusty in Places, the ones that were pushed up north side of village now, pushing out west, getting on the highest point of that hill and really raining down on Seranian Vanguard. So
Squad 1, we're almost there on the west side. We cannot
SVG
push
just
more
getting
south.
flanked,
They're having
basically, enemy coming in and around them, and that's. A lot of it's due to simply the numbers advantage that RIP has on this flag, because they're not really attacking. They have some people up north, but I think it's just one squad. I'm gonna do a count for you. Yeah, it's not even one full squad.
yeah, it looks like kind of like what we sort of said during the break or whatnot. It's probably what Rusty in Place is going to do. You know what, they won by 366 or so tickets. What was it? They're just going to look to defend. At the moment, we're looking at the tickets. You got the ticket count for the militia forces, 321 tickets, and for the Russian ground forces, Rusty in Place is 462 tickets. Okay, so around about 100.
So they'll probably be happy just sitting there.
141 ticket difference here.
Yeah, and I mean. RIP as well, they have to know at this point, like they've been playing for nearly half an hour and they've lost 39 tickets, right? So they gotta know there's no way they're not in the league.
Yeah, out towards this western side, 100%. Even the way they're moving in these little small squads. Aspen and the four-man squad sort of over here on the western side coming up against TOG, those other guys. It feels like, of course, bright as rain. You just push it in, okay, take him down. I don't know how the communications are sort of on the RIP side, but there's hardly really any sort of communications over here. The last communications that sort of happened was the other guys basically calling to the other squad leaders
this is squad 4,
of what their
we're taking
plans
fire from that 30 mil
to
to our to the south to the.
It was
west
the
of
same
Hilltop
last
again.
round. RIP have some
west-
communications, but I think this whole
East of Bunker, accurate.
squad to or inter-squad communication thing
Relatively, yeah.
we were discussing is fully in effect on RIP.
Yeah.
Because they used to be super communicative, and now
It's also
now it's very, very little compared.
It also came across through the radio then from
I'm sending a
fire
scout boat
team.
with 280s.
Is the case
Go on,
that on the western side they're stating there's a 30mm on the western side, basically taking shots at Hilltop. What the militia are going to do, they're going to take a scout car with 2 LATs and try to go for that 30mm. So
they don't know, I think, that 30mm is there as a distraction.
Yeah, because on the
I don't
east
think it's
side-
actually trying to do anything, because RIP are actually flanking with a small squad on the north side of Hilltop. So I think it's just there just to draw the attention, and they're hoping that all the enemy are now looking for and towards that car.
So having a look now on the northern side of Hilltop here. Fire team on the north side compound, out towards the sort of south side compound. Fire team again, but with Zulu, Xray, Delta sort of assisting on the south side, also the western side of that compound. And look at this. Wow. Special forces much. Oh my god, this is like armor.
Absolutely. And I mean, it was really, really effective, that whole idea of having the distraction, because RIP got 2 people in on flag undetected. They got inside the north building undetected. simply due to eyes being focused in a different direction.
Squad 4 taking contact. To
Yeah,
the north.
wow, that was
really helps.
the breach on that northern side compound 2 down the bottom, Reaper and Frog. Plebble's taking one of the guys out on the window, and then you basically, unfortunate there for Reaper getting shot, trying to take down a guy up the stairs. But it was just, whoa, it's like it's...
Yeah, but I mean, imagine this sort of tactic with only one squad on that flag. If they only had one squad defending instead of two, that would have been, it could have been devastating.
Yeah.
And we also have, actually, Frog has gone into the tunnels. He's going for the fob.
Now you're going to
So,
see
I mean-
a lot of harassment on this north side now. I'm going to possibly shift myself over towards Fortress. We might see a scout car. I'm not too sure
There are definitely Russians over there. I think now they're basically looking to harass. They're
Yeah.
looking for tickets, easy tickets, and I think they're going to find it if they keep sort of this sort of tactic up.
I'm just trying to see if this scout car might get...
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna definitely, because the scout car is going to be faster than this Logi truck that's sat here. Bobby Lee Swagger going to get a rude awakening very, very quickly. Oh no, they're shooting early, and the Logi's already.
Enemy fob E6.
Yeah, I think that scout car is just there to try and get this infantry off.
Yeah, that Logi is now just gonna head down to basically that Bravo or Charlie line. Scout car is now gonna sort of get up on Fortress, sort of get eyes on if he can. But Ripper just gonna stay in the tunnels there. I think it was maybe even rob a bit of salt in. You know, if you're looking at around a 4-man squad or whatever on here. I think if they can capture a hilltop or sort of neutralize with that little small man squad, they did a really good job. It could be an insult to injury, and you know, attacking hilltop, capturing hilltop, and they're already on fortress. Wow, that would be devastating for the sort of other side. We are looking at 33 minutes, sorry. 277 tickets for the militia side, Zulu, Xray, Delta, the other guys, Fire Team, as well as Seranian Vanguard, and Rusty in places with a solid 445 tickets.
Yeah, they are dominating this match. And I have to say, like, and their individual performance haven't been dominating in individual performance. They've been trading fairly equally, but it's the tactic. It's the fact that they're everywhere and nowhere, and they're defending the way they're supposed to. It's all that, and just imagine how many fobs you can take out with this sort of having people just looking for them constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really well said in terms of, like, yeah, they're there but they're not there. It is the case because they do go in, you know, 4-man groups or 3-man groups, or just if you see, as I said before, if you come across one rip, you're going to come across, you know, either a full assault of cockroaches or a full mound of army ants.
Yeah, and it's not only that, but I mean it's. Like, if it's a 4-man group, then they're going to scout you. So, like, say you're in any kind of vehicle and you get spotted by RIP, the guys down the road are going to know you're coming.
Yeah.
Like, instantly, and they're going to be prepared as well because their communication is second to none. So it's sort of it's a very, very tricky play style to play against.
Who has the...
Yeah, and in terms of the village side, no assaults sort of happening there. There's a bit of a trickle of Seranian Vanguard and more or less TOG now trickling in on the north western hill, just overlooking the village side. Down on the south side or west side, Hyper's going to head back down, probably over towards that hab, and start digging up again. But I think a majority of the forces are just sort of protecting Hilltop. You know, that 4-man force we saw of RIP, I think really shook up the militia side here, and they're just going to go in full D mode.
Yeah. I mean, it's a natural reaction.
Yeah, there has been a fob discovered just exactly where you are. I think Fire Team there. Oh, Zulu Xray Delta Farius is supposedly on a fob there. He's got 2 guys coming in from his south out towards the western side as well.
Yeah, that is correct though. That's the FOB, the 4-man squad that pushed into Hilltop was using. They are, however, just down the hill east of that FOB. Another sort of fun little, not a fun fact, but you know the scout car that was harassing the guys on Fortress?
Yes.
Yeah, they reported that car, and then the 30mm came and just destroyed it and went right back. It didn't even it was there specifically to destroy that vehicle, and then it had other tasks, right? So that's the RIP communication. That's like there's a vehicle there, okay, there's a 30mm inbound to destroy it, and then it's got something else to do in like K5, you know? They're all about the business.
Yeah, just had a look there, and did you see the wreckage and 2 bodies now?
Can you turn the engine off or back away? I'm trying to
he was just there to destroy that. As soon as that thing blew up, he was out of there. He had nothing else to do there, and they probably keep very, very good tabs on where the vehicles are, where they're heading, and that's all sort of in the commander's head, I think.
Oh yeah,
he's there to just keep tabs and make sure. Okay, it was heading south. It should be here.
Yeah, where would it be now? Does anyone have eyes on it? Okay, updated sort of updated.
Yeah, and when you're all individual squads as well, it's just like you're saying, okay, there's a vehicle heading south, so and so, and then you forget about it. Then you just leave it. But with a commander there, sort of trying to keep tabs on those vehicles constantly, that's gotta help.
I was just reading YouTube chat there. Looks like one of the people said that, nah, Aspen wants 100 kills for her squad, so that's why the road to 100. So, yeah, I was just wondering.
Well, they are actually at 63 kills now for her squad, so she's well on the way there. And if they're playing a defensive game as well, she still has an hour and 22 minutes to do it in.
100%. We're going to see that sort of Fortress squad that we saw before, 4-man squad. They're actually going to start shifting their guys off Fortress and possibly hit the west-northwestern side of the hilltop. A lot of the guys, the Zulu Xray Deltians and the fire team are shifting their guys out towards the western side. I'm sure they're now hearing the shots out towards that region.
2 minutes, I'll push
and the FOB that RIP had on Ammo Hill is gone, but they are marking now new FOB locations in and around Hilltop for placement eventually. And a lot of, I think they brought in an extra squad as well for the attack on Hilltop. So right now we have more like 1.5 squads attacking Hilltop. Or at least getting into some kind of position. You've got Mugaga, Mark, and Pyro, Wellian, and Black Panther on the east side. And then I think it's Frog who's the squad leader here on the west side.
Yeah, you even have out towards the sort of northwestern side as well. Three-man group of I think Trixie, Winsky, and Planet Gong as well. Oh, beautiful RPG there from Zulu Xray Bruises. Angus taking out Rusty in Places Frog there.
Ooh, yeah. It's a really, really tricky place to enter though as well. With all those windows looking that way, going through that forest can be suicide at times.
Yeah, it looks like the militia side have the sort of south covered, sort of out towards that sort of southwest and southeast regions. Zulu Xray Delta heading down, 3-man squad. Joe, Oily, and Lee heading down towards that sort of southeast region. Still out towards that east region, as sort of stated before there by Gec. We do have Mark and quite a number of others out towards that region. I think around about 4.
Enemies are flanking our northern flank.
Yeah. They are, though, not making the same mistakes here on Hilltop as they made last time. Right now, we have people looking all directions.
I repeat, they're flanking.
Even though they are being engaged from the west, they're still looking north, and they are still looking east.
Yeah, it looks like it has been cited as well, the possibility of flank of the northern fob. We are looking at north fob for the Zulu Xray Deltians and the other 3 clans. On Foxtrot 1, Keypad 2, the hab is located, I believe, just on where Winsky, Planet Gong, and Trixie are, and the fob just a bit more north to where they are located. The Rusty in places out towards the western side of the hilltop. Majority of them down, around about 90% of their guys down. Frog, Reaper, Plebbles, Megatron down as well. It's only Fiel left alive.
Fun fact is, Fjell is a Norwegian word, means mountain. So you can call him that, if that's easier.
The mountain.
Yep. And obviously, he could be Danish as well, because it's the same there. So, yeah. I mean, they're holding Hilltop right now, but I think the increasing pressure is sort of... I mean, with RIP, you have to look at the numbers and you have to say, okay, these people are assigned to attack Hilltop, right? Even though they're not, there's some of them are dead right now. As soon as they have a spawn point or something, they're all going to start coordinating and pushing in.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like right now it's just a waiting game for them. They have all the time in the world and they're just gonna get a hab down and start pushing from some direction or multiple.
Yeah, very true. You've got mine and the village under the control of the Russian side, and you've got Fortress and Hilltop under the control of the militia side, so there's no ticket bleed at all. Each one has two flags each. If you're looking at... They don't know, but if you're looking at 30mm in that distance, my god.
Yeah.
It is beast. It's out towards Oak
Hammering.
Fortress. Oh, was that a hit? Oh my god,
Nope,
that was the
that was a miss,
closest
that was a miss.
RPG.
Oh,
Yeah.
and another one hitting the tree next to it. And he's pulling out.
Yeah.
He wants none of this. And those are long,
There's a
long
long-
RPGs.
The longest I've ever
They
seen.
were aiming at the clouds.
Yeah, it's pretty strange if you put pulling out and the longest thing I've ever seen. It actually puts it into different context. But anyway, back to the stream, everyone. But no, some very good RPGing there, possibly by Potatoes, and maybe a couple of RPG guys there around here. Winsky, Trixie, Planet Gong now shifting their guys out from the northwest out towards the northern side of the hilltop encampment. And down
still
towards...
no fob or hab placed on hilltop by RIP. I think they're still sort of planning the locations. They don't even have markers out, so...
Yeah, it's sort of in terms of, I guess, the rest of the locations of the map, we have two squads more or less on the hilltop defending that. Squad 1 now pushing Seranian Vanguard from the western side of Village, and also a bit of a flanking squad there by the other guys down on the deep south of Village across the river, possibly looking for a bit of flanking action. So let's head on down there and we'll see how we do.
Yeah, hopefully they won't drop an FOB there. They have AER there, just sitting tight. He's the scout. And if they drop a fob and he's sitting there, he's just gonna wait and let them pass. However, he might get spotted now, though.
Yeah, so Seranian Vanguard, it looks like they're more or less making their push now, sort of pushing down that sort of western side hill on the village, and TOG, those other guys, now pushing across the river, but Jarl decides to go, hey, I might make my imprint. Takes down 2 already.
He does indeed. And now is taking fire from the north side, but Subtle Rod on his south, and I know Subtle Rod is an excellent shot. Yeah. He's going to spot him any second. Especially now.
There goes
Nope.
Horsefish. Xray is probably the next victim here for Yelp.
Wow. Really nice killing spree there. The GL not quite hitting the mark. Subtle Rod now, though. Yeah, Subtle Rod should get him.
There he is.
There we go. Yeah.
1 versus an army. One takes down around about sort of 3 to 4. And the rest of the TOG guys now going to start moving across that river. Of course, being suppressed there by Jarl has really lost their efforts.
TOG on the fob, though. TOG on the fob. RIP's fob is on the south. Doogie C is trying to pull in.
Nothing has actually come over the radios. I actually didn't know. It's only for that.
Yeah, the fob is going down, is what they're saying. Doogie C is rushing in to try and GL it. And he's going to make it as well.
Poison spider hit.
Bam, GL. Best way to defend the fob, however, he's going to get taken out. There we go.
Get
so
back on that fob and dig it,
that.
boys. Yeah, that's all I really got to say there. Just get it down.
And now, McBaggin's coming in now. And here's the thing, right? While TOG were there digging the FOB and Doogie C was trying to save it, all that stuff, RIP calmly over comms said, okay, let's just start arranging for a new fob on village. They were just, just in case it's lost, let's just start that process.
This is squad 4 lead. We're sending out a small tank guys towards.
And this is, however, an excellent flank by TOG. Really well done. Getting that FOB down is really going to cost RIP. Might even make this a successful push, considering RIP have a lot less people on this flag now since they are arranging that attack on Hilltop. But I think
on the western side, you got Seranian Vanguard there. They're taking a beating. Definitely up towards there. Seranian Vanguard sort of northeast side. Wow, beautiful hit on that BTR. That BTR is now going to start pushing back.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Okay, even if SVG completely dies, right? Every guy they kill is a guy not respawning on village because they have no spawn point.
Exactly.
So it doesn't really matter. As long as militia side is supplied here, they're always going to win this engagement.
You're going to have sort of Rip find out where their basic logistics truck is. It has to be back in the main. They're going to basically put 2 guys in there or whatnot, get it over there, get that sort of fob up and running and that hab up and running in towards village now. But yeah, slowly they're going to start dwindling on village, depending on how sort of TOG and SVG.
Yeah, RIP do have a designated Logi driver though. It's Bobby Lee Swagger is their Logi guy, and he was last round as well.
SVG now shifting their guys out from the sort of western side out towards the southeastern side, along with TOG. TOG's probably going to take that sort of eastern side hills. SVG is going to take in the compounds area.
Yep, and. Honestly, if this push happens fast enough and hard enough, they could take this flag potentially, and I mean it won't win them the match, but it'll certainly turn the battle.
Oh, nice little grenade there. Takes down 1 Rip.
And I think a lot of this is basically a lot of it is due to sort of. If you don't put enough pressure on the enemy flag, they're going to start putting pressure on your flag, and that's sort of the consequence of that is what we're seeing here. Yeah,
and more or less like last game, it's the case that it's a bit late in terms of this push on village. It wasn't done any sooner. There hasn't been a lot of pressure on Rip here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are looking at 205 tickets to 405 tickets. Of course, 405 tickets being the Russians rusty in places here. 200 ticket difference now. You have a large mountain to climb or whatnot here if you kind of want to get back in the game. But then you have to look at round 1. You know, we saw Rip win by 366 tickets or around that sort of area.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta give it to Militia though for actually making this attack work and going for the FOB, hitting that and going in after. And you see the effect is pretty much a total wipe of RIP here, showing that it's a lot due to the supply lines that they manage to do what they do.
Yeah.
Because they don't trade particularly like. On average, generally on average, I'm not going to single out any RIP players here. On average, they don't trade any better than the enemy team. They're just simply tactically better.
Yeah, now like a large amount of the Seranian Vanguards and those other guys now consolidated around those sort of buildings. A couple of the Seranian Vanguards TOG now pushing up towards the northern side.
And RIP still have no new FOB. They have completely abandoned their attack on Hilltop though, and are already starting to defend mine, and they have vehicles coming in as well as a Logi from their main base, trying to re-establish on village.
He must have given up.
and they might make it. The thing about this is, if you give RAP time, they can hold anything. And
in terms
militia.
in terms of the clock,
Yep.
I didn't even realize the clock. We're coming up to around about sort of 50 minutes. So 50 minutes here. Usually you actually look at version 8, even the versions beforehand, around about sort of 45 to 50 minutes would be more or less a sort of standard match. Now it's sort of, now of course with this last minute attack, we are actually seeing the match starting to stretch out. So we could see over around about maybe an hour and 10, more or less is probably where we would call this, but it's all down to sort of the determination from, you know, Seranian Vanguard, the other guys. Zulu, Xray, Delta, and the fire team are going to stay back over towards the hilltop, sorry, and defend that. But it's all down to, okay, let's see what we can actually do on the village.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, we can disorientate Rip then go, get a bit clumsy, and they start to bring over assets, they get destroyed. There's a large amount of tickets there.
Yeah.
You know, they might not win. They might not win the whole of Tactical Tuesday, but hey, win a round and see, and let's reduce the amount of tickets they won by.
Absolutely. And it's, ooh, and this 30mm already taking lat shots. However, they do miss by quite a lot. But I think it's just to tell them, hey, we're here, and get away.
Yep.
But honestly, it's just one heavy anti-tank, and this thing is a goner. And it doesn't even know which way to look. It's looking all over the place. Now firing at nothing. Possibly just being told they're to the southeast. Just give them hell. And it's doing just that. It sees nothing.
Just a fear. It's a weapon of fear. That's all it is.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it works. I am quite sure there are a lot of brown pants on the militia side right now. And it does make communication very hard as well. But right now, militia very, very localized on that southeast side. I think RIP have re-established control. Just due to sort of, they're very, very compressed on the south side. And that's sort of the first indication. As soon as you can sort of localize and compress the enemy team, then you can beat them out of there.
Yeah, so we are seeing now Rip just being, I don't even know, vicious. I guess you would say sort of vicious now, sort of coming in from that northwest region, spreading out in a sort of pattern motion, now heading down and getting closer and closer and closer to that compound on the south side. You know,
and I mean, militia are definitely smelling blood as well, because they've got forces now. I think it's Zulu, Xray, Delta moving from hilltop down to village to maybe help assist.
That's true.
I think it's going to be too late though.
Yeah, Hilo 6 and basically I6 is where Zulu, Xray, Delta are located. But we are going to see the Seranian Vanguard and the other guys slowly start to dwindle. They're even going to get flanked from the eastern side. Baby James, Jeff Will, Dogbite, Aspen, and whatnot coming in from that region out towards their northwest area, coming in off the road as well. And 30mm is going to come in maybe for another pounding.
Yeah, and again, this turned around pretty much precisely when RIP got their new FOB up.
Yep.
Right, and I do not think the militia side are supplied by an FOB. So they had that initial push that went really, really well, and then nothing coming up behind it. Sort of, there's no follow through on the punch, and that gives RIP the chance to just overwhelm them.
Yeah, that 30mm is basically acting as a suppressant. You know, the TOG guys at Subtle Road and Horsefish just left only in that house now, and the rusting place is slowly starting to come on in either side.
Yeah. Ooh. And And this 30mm now clearing out that house.
Wow.
Enemy have marker on the fob marker northwest of village.
And it looks like the fob has been marked on, or the hab marker actually, sorry, on the J8, J keypad 9. I think it has been seen by one of the Zulu Xray Delta guys.
Yeah, and like, okay, so the militia now have a techie coming in on the north side. It's a Logi, no, it's actually an SVG techie. But Planet Gong and his crew saw it coming down, and they just notified instantly. And
Enemies moving
said
up
there's
the
coming people coming down the K road, and now the 30mm is looking that way.
Yeah,
it's in cover from that position, and it's looking that way. Everything is, you know, it's just so goddamn coordinated.
Yeah, that SVG has to get a shot on. It's like right next to it. Oh no.
Yeah, see, and it's like they're super prepared. They knew it was coming. They're so prepared.
Was it camouflage? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm sorry, just a bit stunned there, but God, it's sexy. It's so sexy, that sound. So we are going to see Seranian Vanguard, of course, coming in off that SVG techie.
Yeah, a quick update on Road to 100, by the way. They have 99 kills. Yeah, so let's just call the match. If we just call the match now,
no.
Just ruin their day.
RPG's just going over that 30mm, just a bit less in terms of the angle there. If we are, there we go.
It's got 2 hits though, and it's going to pass some.
Potato, I'm sure potatoes
on the hill here. Come on!
Oh!
It goes. The turret though wants to go home.
Yeah. Levitates.
Turret is RTB.
Yeah, so we are going to see Zulu Xray Delta out on that northwest region. Nice little RPG action, or a little valley fighting across from the north and the south side here. The western road to the village area. Seranian Vanguard more or less obliterated up towards the northern region of village. And the looks like Zulu Xray Delta. A couple of Seranian Vanguards coming on in up towards that northwest area. Large number of the Rusty in places are located in the J8 keypad 456 region. And if we look on the ticket, tickets-wise, 363 tickets for the Rusty in places there, Russian ground forces, against, of course, the militia forces, 136 tickets with Seranian Vanguard, the other guys, Zulu Xray Delta and Fire Team.
Getting very, very close to a 3-to-1 ticket lead.
You can see, you know, you saw 400 or so tickets that the Rusty in places had. Then we saw the assault on village from the south, right, and the other guys into the Xray Delta. Now we've seen a dip in those tickets. If you constantly apply that pressure, you know, you dwindle the tickets.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
and that's sort of what you have to do. The fob is 20. And it's another 25 for that vehicle, plus I don't know how many kills there that went down here, but huge amount.
Even looks like the Russian forces rushing in place are now building the MG on the road to the north of village. Again, we can only theorize all this sort of stuff, and it's basically opinion based. And I think maybe another techie might get ganked hit up towards the northern side.
Winsky, Planet Gong. Yeah, they're on the road though, but
it's actually a scout car coming on in. Winsky goes down there. Wow, Planet Gong goes down as well.
I got enemies all over me.
I'm just wondering if that
yeah. And now they're reporting that armored vehicle on the K route yet again. So this guy just cannot move south.
Yeah, if he moves any more south, so he's taking down Trixie there, really good effort. Keeps moving down south. They actually got a bunker on the road down there as well. I'm sure their RPGs are now going to start heading up that K line to the northern side. And a bit of a battle happening here with the Rusty in places that were over on the west side hill of village, which is around about the J8 region. They are now shifted over towards the I7, coming up to contact with Zulu Xray Delta and just demolishing them.
Yep. Road to 100 now at 108 kills. So
There he
congratulations to them.
Yeah.
They have, but that's still impressive. They have more than half the kills of the RIP team. So that's one squad with 50% of their kills, which is absolutely commendable.
Yeah, having a look over here in terms of the sort of kills for everyone, 113 kills to 220, and I think 217 to 114 for the Russian forces. But again, we are coming up to over an hour. It's been 1 hour and 1 minute of round 2. Of course, a lot longer than, of course, the round 1. Rust in Places winning by roughly, I think, 366, if not mistaken, around the 300 or so region. And now we are seeing a longer game. But yeah, I think it's really sort of come down to the last minutes. But also Rips or Rusty in Places, more so defense. They send up just little squads to attack, so they're not using a majority of their tickets there. So it actually sort of expands the game's length. It was a bit sort of shifty when we saw the the other guys and Seranian Vanguard attack village, successfully taking out the fob there. Of course, taking down the hab along with it, and then we saw a really nice firefight happening, which we actually saw a bit of a dip in the Rusty Places tickets. But now Rusty Places sort of back on par, and all
right,
yeah, I'm looking
TOG,
as well. Yeah, I'm looking as well. Yep. So
that's not optimal when attacking the enemy.
Yep. So we have Rusty Places.
Aspen has reported that hab as well spotted,
and the scout car taking a hit also with the LAT. I think maybe by Baby James. No, not by Baby James. By someone else.
I think it's Otis. TOG's Otis. Shooting at the scout car now for the 3rd time. So let's focus on something else.
Yeah, so we do have Rusty in Places now. Oh my, the greatest grenade on a hab by Jeff Will there. Just right up the center. Takes down 3.
Yeah, and RIP now assaulting this hab pretty hard. And the FOB not far away, just slightly northwest of the hab. And the hab is now pretty much completely camped. And is being dug already. Yeah. So that did not work out for them. I think they didn't expect Aspen that far north.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. And we are looking at 96 tickets at the moment. We are seeing the hab getting dug down now. There is no tickets when a hab is dug down. It's only when the fob is dug down. If they do find the fob, it will cost 20 tickets there. But we are going to see Rusty Places probably just dig down that hab. Maybe the same as Hyper. Would you dig it down fully and get rid of it? Or would you just half dig it down, Or would you dig it down at all? It's...
I would dig down until it's unspawnable. Then I'd leave one guy and then activate the rest, sort of, and make them do other things.
Yeah, we are going to see now that those other guys spawn in from the north side again. I think they've got a rally point up there. And that hab is now getting dug down by Rygo and Faker.
Yeah. And I mean, TOG are respawning on a... Ooh, and now it goes down.
Bowley's just gonna get rid of the rest of that, So.
Yeah. And TOG still attacking on the north side, getting a couple kills, and that BTR is getting flanked, unbeknownst to him. I think these guys on the west side of the valley here are just gonna head right up there.
Yeah, so we are going to see. Yeah, the other guys are located
now falling back.
Yeah, northeast area. The other guys are going to be located there, but directly out towards, from Todd's direction, the TOG, sorry, or those other guys' direction down towards the southwest region. They got Rip on the other side of the mountain, or the west side of them, and from Rip's position, it's down towards the northeastern area. And then of course, as you just said, then Aspen now just down towards the south side of that. Pushing back down towards Village. Rip doesn't have much, of course, forces on Village. I think they only got Bernie there. The MG is actually just outside of that sort of cap zone, just trying to lay a bit of fire there just to range it. And the rest, just seeing where the rest of the Rusty in Places squad are, and really it's just that northern side around about that J5 or sort of K5 region, that western side there. Rip sort of located there. We do have a truck though, I think it is. Let's have a look. Yes, a transporter truck of Seranian Vanguard just located around the I5 Keypad 1 region. And the rest of the militia forces are just going to stay put on the D flag, being the good old hilltop. And we're just going to see a more or less slow and easy sort of game at the moment. 46 tickets remaining for the militia
46,
forces.
yeah.
And 334 tickets for the Russian forces. We are looking at coming up over an hour and 5 minutes.
Yep.
And Seranian Vanguard abandoning that truck because it's been hit and it goes down.
By Black Panther there. Giving it some RPG fire. This BTR now very, very close to infantry without really knowing it. I think they're shooting GLs at it just to scare it off. Doesn't seem to work though, but I think he realizes GL's not gonna do the thing. And he's firing back at them. Not optimal though. Simply because you don't know if there's a hat kit up there.
Yeah.
You can never be sure as that BTR.
West of hilltop and pushing north.
We do have sighted, I think, west side hilltop, a BTR, more or less, probably on the D line. Southwest to western sort of region.
Yeah.
Of the,
and,
of the hilltop.
Yeah. But, I mean, right now, with 31 tickets remaining, I think I'd sort of sense a bit of resignation here in the militia side. They seem to be more aimless in what they're doing.
Yeah, it's sort of like attacking wise. You know, Aspen now pushing back and forth over towards the village area. She's going to secure the village, and even there is attack force there. It's slowly going to start trickling in. It's not and it's only going to be 1, 2, 3. It's not going to be 2s, 5s, 8s, sort of thing like that. So, yeah, we are going to see more or less maybe just a defense and a little attack sort of efforts here. Plebbles, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at him too. I think, I don't know. Honestly, think he's gonna suicide on this thing. Yeah, he's trying to get into the line of view here. Oh, there we go. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
All right, so someone wrote something, or someone told him something. Yeah, SVG's Renegade now, getting out of there. I'm surprised he hasn't been taken out by someone. I think Fjell and Reaper are the LATs coming up. They were trying to come up behind him. Nope, they weren't even that, so...
Again, like as we discussed, I think it was the start of the match actually. It's the case of at the start of the whole of Tactical Tuesdays today, if I'm not mistaken, it was the case that Rusty in Places have patience. Alright.
Yeah.
They got a lot of patience. As we sort of said, there's 2 hours on the clock. They're gonna use that 2 hours. It's there for a reason, right? So now it's slow and steady. Sure, it's boring, you know, but this is a tactic. You make it boring.
Yeah. We're not here to have fun anyway.
No,
okay, we're here to win.
Yeah, it's a case that's 100%. You know, make the enemies come displaced. Make them go, this is getting boring. No, let's attack. Let's do this. Let's do that. Make them do that. You know, and that's what Ripper actually quite good at doing. I've watched, you know, you and Anubisvalor streaming, you know, that other Rusty in Places match, you know, went almost for exactly the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
you know, and there
yeah.
was only 50 tickets there. I've streamed one for a Tactical Tuesdays that was done on Kohat. Rusty in Places against Zulu, Xray, Delta. I think it was FSQ, Seranian Vanguard, and I think it was 16AA, the Air Assault or Air Raid now known. And it's the same thing. They won the first round, and then they just defended the second round. And then what did that happen? That displaced the other clans. Like, no, this is getting boring. Let's attack. And the other one's saying, no, let's defend. You got 2 hours of clock there, so.
Yeah. If your main concern is winning, you should win at all costs. Obviously,
100%.
It doesn't make for the best viewing though. But
no, of course not. No, definitely.
RIP. Not concerned about people who have to go to sleep.
Not at all. You know, not at all.
They give zero cares about that.
Yep.
Alright, enemy BTR near our fob in F1.
But right now, it's looking like it's going to end. The next vehicle that dies is going to basically hand this over to RIP. I'm very, very surprised that their 30mm hasn't been more active.
Yeah.
The way it was played earlier. I'm just surprised, especially that scout car on the north side, that lived for as long as it did with that much infantry around it.
100%.
Was a miracle.
100%. And there has been sort of said, I think, northern side where you're heading now. I think there's a vehicle, Rusty in Places vehicle on that sort of northern side.
Yeah, just looking at the base.
Yep.
And we do have Bube coming up behind it, though. And he is not an LAT. He's just a little optic guy doing his own thing. Never mind. I thought he was going for it, but I was completely wrong.
Yeah, so like sort of as said before, you know, the militia now just only trickling in. Down on the south side, we have Zulu Xray Deltas, 3 guys. Actually, it was 4 guys, now down to 2. Zulu Xray Deltas Lee still left alive, and Zulu Xray Deltas Oily still alive. Now going to get possibly taken out by Dogbite, bit of trade action there just on the bridge. And Angus and Dor going down as well, but trickling. This is all that we're probably going to get for the last... maybe 2-3 or so minutes, is just a trickling of the militia forces here, where we do have the Rusty in Places or Russian ground forces, 329 tickets, very, very close to the sort of round 1 victory as well.
Absolutely. And 22 tickets remain now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets still dead, 6, 7 tickets still dead. And now a little technical coming in here as well. No, that's a scout car on the south side.
So that Renegade...
So that's another 18 tickets. So if that goes down, that's actually lost right now. With the tickets, sort of with the dead bodies on the ground. If that goes down, then it's all over. But he's looking to bail. Yeah. He's bailing.
I'm sure, I don't know if it's still in action, but the 30mm
on the road,
I think, no, actually went down on that western road. I was going to say 30mm for the Russian
he was definitely
side.
watching that road for any vehicles to come out.
Bring it on over. Use the tickets. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Now we do have that scout card now.
Yeah.
He's going to head down on that sort of eastern side.
Alright, so right now they're hunting that scout car. They're talking a lot about it.
He's just running people over this scout car.
Whatever squad is technical thing out of main, be advised you're about to run right into
so SVG Renegade now wants this to end. And it is understandable, although slightly unfortunate. Yeah, and the reason...
Here we go.
the reason for that, the 30mm not being active here is it's bugged apparently.
Roger. Ooh, RPG just going over the top there. P-Run's gonna have eyes on the road here, and Renegade has to be careful. He's gonna start getting on down. Heading down towards the south side effort.
One hit.
One hit.
Wants to run frog over,
And
doesn't.
he's ran over himself. No one knows yet.
Oh,
And he goes
gets
down.
frog though.
Yeah.
And
16
this should
tickets
be it.
remaining. Oh, and the BTR coming in from the north side as well. P-Run, Buckles, up against Terry.
No, but the BTR.
And there
oh,
it
there
goes.
GG, well played.
Well played, 312 ticket win there. 312 ticket win there for the Russian forces being rusty in places, winning both rounds of Tactical Tuesdays this evening. Well over 600 tickets.
I've actually found it because they actually won by 328 tickets, but those 16 tickets, those were the tickets that were lost the second that truck blew up. But
yes, Scout. Huh?
yeah, so it's actually it's deducting those 16 tickets from because it's there's some bug.
So yeah,
but they did win by 328.
Roger that. Wow. Okay. My God. So there we go. A bit of a tactic there for version 2 of Fool's Road. Hit the village. Be vicious if you're a militia and just withstand as much as you can if you're Russian forces. Definitely on Fool's Road version 2. Of course, the most popular Fool's Road at the moment is would have to be Papanov version 3. So we don't see much of version 2 played, and I guess more or less a bit of a reason why there. It can definitely be more or less. It's in both's favor. Russian forces have to get out of train station as fast as possible to get their second flag, and it's quite more or less easy for the militia forces. You know, drive out of your base, basically head left, head down the K line, and you're already there. So. Yeah,
but I mean, both sides sort of expected the rush. You saw the way they were playing. They exited their vehicles before they even got to the flag, and they dropped some fobs and went in slow, and it just seemed to work out better for Rip.
Yeah. I 100% agree there. Well, that's going to conclude Tactical Tuesdays for this evening. It's around about 7:30 or so my time here. I think over in the UK it would be around about 10:30. I think in some parts of the EU around about
10:30, or here it is 11:30.
11:30. There we go.
Yeah.
So Rip now that taking it out definitely with well over 600 or so tickets on the first V9 of Tactical Tuesday. I'm Saint Sasius. You know, I don't know anymore.
And I'm Gec.
And I'm Gec. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Definitely having definitely having a co-host. In terms of the stream quality, if anyone's still around, sort of watching, I do apologize if the stream quality is bad. I do have the 1080p or the recording, so depending on how those look, I'll get those uploaded, and I'll get a bit of editing towards it because I actually did make a mistake with not recording some of the commentary. But yes, look basically towards tomorrow, and you'll have the 1080p's if the stream isn't up to par. As always, Tactical Tuesdays every Tuesday, more or less. Next week, I believe we have another scheduled matchup. So stay tuned either to our Twitch, our YouTube, or just it could be recorded. So stay alert with our YouTube channel. Other than that, keep squadding with everything squad related. Look no further than the squad official forums. Thank you very much, Gec.
All right, it was a pleasure.
And thank you very much, squad. Catch you later, guys.